I can get behind that. I can see the hole cards, and I can't read the dude. So Greenwood, having come to the same conclusion that I did, that you don't really want to overcall there with top pair, decides to put in a rare flop raise with just a pair. And I think he's going to get 2 folds. He does indeed. Well done, Sam Greenwood.
Did I do something that looked like a check? I'm sorry.
I think he just announced it twice.
Oh, I
just
see.
said check twice, so I thought like 2 players check.
I see, yeah. I didn't hear it, but that makes sense.
Get ready, boys. This is the fucking hand. Right here.
Look at Jason Kuhn diffusing the situation by slamming his big, meaty fingers down on the table. Speaking of big, meaty fingers,
I am known for my mean, meaty, big, all that good stuff. Yeah. Hey, guys, how you doing?
David Tuckman, the Touche, back in the booth.
So I hear John Juanda, the old chip in the chair guy.
Yeah, that's him. Oh, I forgot about that part.
He won. Look at that. That's why you never give up. Never, ever give up, guys.
That's why I invented the phrase, all it takes is a chip and a chair. Yesterday, John Juanda was down to 4 antes.
Like you play a bunch of days in a row, you don't get rest. You're running kind of bad, and you're just, oi. On top of that, I ate 1 meal, so I was probably like, didn't realize it, but I was probably really hungry. Yeah. You know? Like elements like that make you cranky as shit.
Don't I know it? Except when I'm cranky, I can't crush a walnut in my bicep.
Yeah.
Have you tried?
Yeah, tired or hungry. That's it.
Tried with a peanut. That didn't work. I assume a walnut's not going to go much better.
You're saying it's not good to be tired and hungry all the time?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Oops.
So,
Yeah, it's right there.
pretty exciting. John Juanda, just one of the legends of the game, coming to the Triton Series and winning a short deck event just 9 months after he learned the game. That's pretty impressive. So we turn our attention to a 750,000 Hong Kong buy-in. Jason Kuhn apparently on death watch. Ante's still relatively low, though. Ante's just 4,000.
Get it through.
It's the Chun Tong Show. I love watching the Chun Tong Show. And you love watching this 750K buy-in short deck tournament. This is the last biggest event of the series. Tomorrow, a boring old 500K. Woof. I mean, I thought this tournament wasn't for poor people.
Getting all in here from Chun with ace queen. Reasonable chance he gets called by that man right there. Does get called. Cards on their back. It's jacks versus ace queen. It's a virtual coin flip.
They all are.
228,000 in there. We have 35 entries already at 750K a pop. 887. Running eights would do it too.
Oh.
It's got to be the worst way to lose, right, with jacks?
Counterfeited by quads? Yeah.
Because you don't really see it, and you're like, no, really? Did that just happen? Ike Haxton on the left side of your screen. Joe Stapleton on the right side of me. Make sure you get your Joe Stapleton fix done. Just a couple more hours. And Stapes is leaving on a jet plane. Don't worry.
Don't worry. None of those hours will be spent sleeping.
He'll be somewhere. You can watch him soon, I'm sure.
It won't be long. Actually, I don't think I can get in too much trouble for this. The next place you guys can see me will be on May 29th. That is, May 28th. And that's in Las Vegas at the Rio, the Gavin Smith Memorial Charity Poker Tournament. All proceeds going to the trust fund set up to put some money away for Gavin's kids.
It's a good cause. I like it. So if you're in Vegas, May 28th, 29th. 28th is the tournament.
No.
29th is the comedy show, right?
Correct, yeah.
Crush?
That's awesome.
And
So we got an all-in here, another all-in.
Okay, la.
Vajakovsky does not have cards.
I think hearts are coming.
I think he's in
They're
now.
in front of him, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's a three-way all-in.
Oh,
Badziakowski
man.
has them both
I'm
covered.
seeing hearts, but
I think this one's just going to be a fair hand. I think we're all going to get a little piece.
That's a hard one to accomplish.
Queen, Queen, 9.
oh, easy.
And
Pair of 9s is winning.
That's the easy win.
9's still good. How did that happen? 9's held?
Why didn't I
It's
win
the
this?
Chun Tong show. That's
you're in
why.
last place, Makita.
I lost the boss of you, huh? I even lost the side pot.
So Kuhn lost a bullet. Clearly has more.
Oh, there was no side pot. That's good.
9-8 wins the 5-way.
Yeah, I believe there are 2 more events left in the series. I believe we will air the final table of this event tomorrow, and then, of course, the start of the 500K.
All of my money goes away. All of my money. Lose all money.
I'm surprised this doesn't happen
week,
more
all
often,
money.
honestly.
This is the greatest poker clip I've ever seen. I want a meme of that. Or a GIF. What do you call them?
Okay,
A
all
GIF.
in.
GIF. It's not a GIF, it's a
Yes.
GIF.
Thanks.
Let's not.
Thanks for the 8,000.
Let's not.
Kuhn's all in with ace-8.
Take money. Take it.
Fold now.
Come on. Yes, take my money. Tell me you have 2 kings. 2 kings?
King Jack.
Oh, baby, give him a flush.
Tough to hit a flush now, huh?
It's not tough to hit top pair. Go on and take it. Oh. Take another little piece of my heart now, baby. You know you got it. Oh, okay. 100. If it makes you feel good.
It holds.
I don't think Jason drinks, by the way, if anybody's wondering. He's just tired drunk.
It's called punch drunk. It comes from when life punches you.
Okay.
The Triton Super High Roller Series very quietly coming to a close. On the last day, I don't know exactly. I know we're going to be covering the final table, the 500K, and then I assume there's probably a turbo that's going on. People got to get their gamble on.
Got to get it in while you can. Like Caxton, Queen 10, suited.
Shocking. We're going to have multi-way action here. 4 ways to the flop. Greenwood, Haxton, Badziakowski, and Chuntong.
Jack, Jack, 6, 2 diamonds. Diamond draw for Tong Chun.
Yeah, 9s are the best hand right now, but let's see who bets it.
And the best hand, 9s.
You
Bet.
have like a battery phone charger thing?
Chun calls.
Yeah, Jason, right over here.
My man.
This one belongs to the floor or whatever.
Thanks for-
You need iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
I have the iPhone.
I have a cable.
in my bag.
I have a
Or
cable.
You have one?
Yeah, thanks. Nice, thanks, man.
Now, Chun might think that hitting a 9 would be good, but we can see that it is not. River's a jack regardless, and the full house of Bodziakowski is good here.
Did you kill your computer?
Yeah, that's good.
What place did you get? 6th? Nice. That's still.
It's whatever. I went to 15 blinds last night. Played like 5 hours into that poker and cashed for 38. I can't really,
Yeah,
can't really complain.
that's fair. Who's got all the chips?
Kluko was second in chips after I busted to him and Chrissy B. I think.
Chrissy B?
Yeah.
No shit.
He can throw it, I think, in the Cyprus.
The Cypress thing was no joke. That was pretty
Yeah, I thought.
Was it?
Yeah,
There was,
like a couple hundred players, 10K. Right?
I think it was a 5. I think it was a 5K that got. Maybe not though, because post was a lot, so it probably
I think
wasn't.
it's getting bigger and bigger, all these merit tournaments.
Yeah.
She's a crusher, man. Props to her. I mean, she grinds all the time.
Yeah. She is.
50.
She's like constantly.
Sam Greenwood with the limp under the gun.
Yeah, man.
Did Divorce come in second?
He did indeed.
Jet in third?
No.
Fourth.
Jet was 4th.
Okay.
Yang was 3rd.
Well, it's good to see Jetton mixing it up a little bit. Another third place finish would have been boring. So he's got a second, 2/3, and a 4th this series. Divorce has 2 seconds, a 4th, 2 seconds and 2/4.
Sure,
Set of 8s here for Greenwood.
sure he'd like a win, but if someone asked you before the series, do you want to have 4/4 or whatever it is?
Be okay with that?
4/4 is a hole.
Yeah, there you go.
4/4 is 1.
He basically won then, right? Paxton has a straight, by the way. It's one of those little sneaky straights you don't really see. But you're not going to pull over one on me now. No way. I see you.
Ah, the old ace, 7, 6, 9, 8 straight.
Yeah. Greenwood obviously drawing live with the set of 8s. Triplev 666 says these guys look so tired. Confirmed. It's a lot of poker in a short amount of time. Hi, Caxton. Facing a bet of 30,000 and a call. The only hand he can lose to right now is 10-7. Which isn't an incredibly likely holding. Kuhn could certainly have that on the button, though. Haxton's not going to mess around. He puts it all in there. Back over to Greenwood with a set of 8s.
Here we go.
Yeah, this would be for all of Greenwood's chips. Pot is 636, and it's 497 to call. Not getting a very good price.
That's the point.
At this point, Haxton knows Greenwood does not have 10-7.
Yeah.
Set goes in the muck, and Haxton takes it.
Effective. You fold top set?
Hold what?
I asked him if he folded top set.
Pretty good read.
Great read. And
Not like there's much of a difference.
in this game, you're perfectly happy for someone to fold top set. There's a lot of ways for top set to
What if I'm just rampaging it in with middle set?
get there.
I think it's kind of a good play sometimes.
Pokinocchio says, is this day 5 of Triton? Ha! Day 5.
Try doubling that and then adding 1.
Yeah, day 11. Took me a second to do the math there, but it is day 11 here of the Super High Roller Series here in Montenegro. Take a look at the chip counts here. Isaac Haxton up to 636,000. Sam Greenwood after that fold at 497. You can see their bullets, though, how many they have left. Each one of those bullets is worth 100,000 chips. Jason Kuhn up to 174,000. Joe Stapleton, David Tuckman here for you.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to be here. Trying to be here. You know how they say when you learn a foreign language that when you get really good at it, you think in that language, you don't translate in your head? I'm still at the translating in my head stage of short deck. And so it's very tiring to be thinking about short deck and working these things out. I'm at the point where I can kind of predict some of the actions.
Can you predict this action?
I'm just looking to see how many chips he has. Yes, he's going to move all in.
Look at that, see?
What about Tong Chun? Okay.
Yeah, it'll be King Jack versus Aces, and Kuhn was already behind, and we saw King Jack fold. So this is not looking good for Kuhn at all. There we go. King Jack versus Aces. Well, that's about as good as it's going to get.
Okay.
Yeah, fair fight.
9 or an ace to win it for Kuhn, and now an ace won't do it. So now just a 9. 9 ball, corner pocket. No.
No. Jason Kuhn seemed like he maybe needed to be put out of his misery.
He's got another bullet, though.
Nope, not yet.
And who are we kidding? If he loses, he's going to rebuy.
He did say in his interview with Pete Latham, the jogging interview, that short deck's not really his game, but he does think that, you know, you got to give action to get it. So he's going to come give it the old college try.
He did final table the 1 million No Limit Hold'em main event. And I assume that's what he's referring to. You know, if he expects all the short deck players to play No Limit Hold'em, well, then he's got to play short deck. And my guess is the learning curve will be quicker for him. He puts a lot of work in.
Don't get me wrong.
Got about 40 entries now. Registration still open. 37. 14 players have already been eliminated. Kuhn picks up queens. Everything.
100,000. Final bullet.
100, right?
Yep. I got it.
Me too.
Oh, the thing is, it's not even a joke.
Well, Jack Tutton does very well against overpairs. Queens not as much because the queens are blocking straights, some straights.
So horrible.
What is the card that you would like to have back? Like ace 6?
Yeah. A6 is good cards.
There's a jack.
Axton needs running cards, a jack or a 10. How about a 9 for a good sweat? No,
Upside down
It
9.
is a good card.
only 5 outs for Axton.
Queen, just to make Sam feel better.
100 flat.
Kuhn with the double, 212,000.
It was nice of them to give the tune on the river instead of on the tune.
If you wonder why you can't hear Sam Greenwood, it's because he was playing online
I'm like,
poker on his
at
phone.
the point now where I've surrendered to the sweat.
There's
You
a
know what I
ring
mean?
at the table.
I was sweating hard a couple bullets ago, but now I'm just like surrendered. I'm just like whatever.
I hear you, man.
You know when you have the
I hear you.
like I'm not. I think I'm okay with like what to do, but I'm not like that job with equities. It doesn't really matter that much. Like how often does somebody bet the size that is like the exact range of your hand? Right?
That's what you get, Sam Greenwood, for having all those beeps and clicks going off.
I can't hear a word he's saying. Luckily, I can read lips.
You lost privileges.
Jeju and it was playing the first time. I'm like, I guess from the reaction.
Sure, he's perfectly fine with it.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't think he
I
cares.
didn't even know.
Now would be a great time to drop a bunch of
It's
F-bombs.
nice to play a game and not know the equities, so you're not really stressed out. You're just like,
Hey,
am
that's
I
one
ahead?
thing I
Am
got going
behind?
for
I
me.
don't know.
I would have no idea if I was ahead or behind in this
Somebody's
game.
gonna get pushed the pot. And we'll play another hand.
Yeah.
Well, Jack 10 versus Queens again. This time, Kuhn's got the Jack 10. Oh, hello. I know this doesn't happen very often in short deck, but we might have a pre-flop all in. It's funny how the final table, deep stacked final table short deck, in no way resembles this.
I know, that's what, it's just crazy. And I still haven't figured it out yet. It's like, well, they could go all in here. No, this is a call. And probably going to take a flop. No, you got to jam this here. I'm like, what?
Fold.
What is happening?
Kuhn gets out of the way, back over to Greenwood. Who's Greenwood kidding? He's never folding this, is he?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that sort of situation. Yeah, take a second to think about it, but you know you're never folding.
Classic race.
This is a just under 1.1 million chip pot. Ace King versus
real
Queens.
race.
The nine of spades, or the eight of spades.
It is a race.
Oh, this is going to be a big card flop then.
But not like it is in Hold'em.
Whoa.
That's spicy.
Greenwood,
He can now catch an ace, a king, or a 6.
one more out. You think that's a good flop, flopping a full house, but no.
King.
Greenwood needs a queen.
That's not a queen.
How much?
Full double up there for Isaac Axton. He's up to 1.08 million. Greenwood down to 151,000.
I didn't realize Greenwood had so many chips. I think his pre-flop decision time is a lot more explainable. I thought he only had 100,000.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I understand thinking. I just,
5-3.
we both know he's never folding.
You've worked your way up to that big of a stack. It's going to take, you want to spend as much time with your chips as you can. Just give them a proper goodbye.
Yeah, it's painful. I mean, you're folding queens there, final table against the chip leader, those kind of situations, but...
Flop for my hand. If I call, I think I would have been obligated to try to punish.
So Sam's mic's turned down. Jason's face is just in his arms.
All those sixes.
Which, if you've ever seen his arms, you know how hard it's going to be for sound to escape from them.
I'd have just been like, just threw my cards in the muck the second the flop came out. Here you guys play.
If you go all in, I'm pretty sure I can get away from it.
No.
Would this game be better or worse with Omaha rules, where you have to use both hole cards?
What is it? We have to
You have to use
Ooh.
both hole cards.
On that,
So it comes 6-6-6, and now just Jack 10's just drawing dead Ace King.
yeah.
I like that.
board with my hand, I would have preferred Omaha.
Yeah.
Yeah, pairs would certainly go up in value, I would imagine.
You have 200 in blue, Jason?
No, 175. I have 200 total.
Okay.
I love this game. It's just an amazing game.
Show a 6?
No 6.
Thought you showed something.
The amount of gamble and fun.
I was just looking at my hand.
Kind of reminds me of a No Limit Hold'em
Go banana.
15 years ago.
Free roll 5.
Why was this man four-handed?
The tables are currently 5-4-4-4, I think. Or 5-5-4-4.
No, not even like
5-5-4-4-4.
Oh, right.
Table.
Yeah. That makes considerably more sense.
Dave loves the game. I love how good these guys are at it.
You have like almost 150, Sam?
40.
30,
How much they've figured out about a game that's
35.
really, really new.
Axton limping in from the under the gun spot. There are no blinds. Tuckman, what's wrong with you? Podjakowski with King 10 and the hijack. Well, thank you guys for joining us. If you guys are new to it, Flopping Quads wants to know what is going on with this
Yeah,
short deck
we should
stuff.
explain it. We haven't reset the stakes much.
Yeah, no deuces, no threes, no fours, no fives. We stripped the deck, guys. So there's only 36 cards in the deck. Flushes beat full houses, and the aces can be high or low, so you can make a perfect example. You can make the ace 6, 7, 8, 9 straight. So Greenwood actually has a straight draw here if a 6 were to come off. Unlike other places, straights beat trips here. Straights beat sets. The only different thing is really that flushes beat full houses. Board pairs on the turn. Haxton is the best hand here with no pair. King, queen.
Pretty rare for this game. Be even rarer if he makes it to the river. Sorry if it's good by the river, I should say.
Action on Greenwood. He checks as well.
And that river is 9. And finally, someone makes a pair.
Yeah, Greenwood with the best of it now. Jack 10 got there. Spades got there.
It looks
At
like
this
it's
point, though, it looks like everybody's given up.
Yeah,
Give it to Greenwood.
No
check
pair.
around.
Let's move on.
Just heard tournament director Luca Vivaldi announcing a break.
Always the river.
You said it, Ike Haxton. Always the river in this game. It's not a game you want to start off with the best hand. It's a game you want to end up with the best hand.
Boom.
That's it. That's short deck in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, I think that's exactly what it is. So we have
just solved
37
it.
entries right now. Registration is not closed. Take a look at the 12bet.com chip count here. Isaac Haxton with well over 1 million chips. You might think, wow, that's a lot of chips. He's clearly going to make the final table. Yeah, not in short deck. Chips go in, chips fly around, and you just got to kind of hold on. I want to welcome you into the booth here. Joe Stapleton, David Tuckman, thanks for joining us, guys. It has been a lot of fun. 11 days here in Montenegro, of course. Triton Super High Roller Series. Just a ridiculous amount of money. Sometimes I almost get numb to it. It's like, what is this? It's only a 31,000 US buy-in?
Tens of millions of dollars total in these prize pools. We're talking 8 figures here.
Yeah, a lot of money, of course. Players are going to go on a 15-minute break. We will as well because we don't have another tournament to cover. Normally, we just go from tournament to tournament, but that is not the case. Of course, we will stay here for, I don't know, maybe another 3 or 4 hours, and then, of course, come back tomorrow with the final table.
Don't go anywhere during the break. We're going to have lots of highlights for you guys to watch. We just closed out the 250K short deck. Watch some highlights from that. Spoiler alert, John Jawanda wins.
Why
Don't
you tell
go
me?
anywhere. We will be back in 15 minutes' time.
John won again?
Ace King. Now, Randy, when you call here, are you looking to limp re-raise if someone else raises, or are you going to play more conservatively as we are approaching the bubble?
I'm going to say 100% it's a limp jam.
Limp
Unless
jam.
like several players go all in, but in general you're always looking to commit the chips. It's also one of those hands where you want to try to take it down pre-flop rather than just take a flop and maybe miss and then having to check fold possibly the best hand, etc. Cortez is going to practically move all in with Jack 10 suited. They are going to get on to exact coin flip.
I thought you said Soiza was going to jam.
He did jam. He limp jam.
Deadly 10 Jack suited.
Oh, now I know what you
At least
mean.
you lock up the ace of spade.
You meant open jam, no.
I mean, I take ace king any day.
I just haven't had breakfast,
I mean,
so
just in case he has
all this-
something else, or somebody else has queens or some shit. I don't know.
Cortez at risk. 2 pair for Soiza. Lots of outs.
It's gonna be a jack for the brutal, I think.
No short deck.
I had a queen, so.
It's all,
Enough short deck. Let's just play like
2 pair holding for now. Cortez looking for a queen or a jack, or we will have our first elimination of the day.
no short deck. I don't want to say short deck on the river.
GG, man.
Bye-bye.
you
Adios,
saw the ace, but
Jesus.
the worst thing you see this king jack coming on it, even though you see
I
the
mean,
first.
window count with a king. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
but then just
Wait.
no queen on the turn. That's all, you know.
You have 10 jack. Okay. No, he's not gonna shove
Not
10
gonna
jack
shove
on it.
10 jack for me.
That's why I figure. Then he has to have only 2 hands to shove him. 3 maybe,
Lebedev's thinking about
maybe 3.
calling here.
Maybe 4.
The only reason he would
Oh my
fold
gosh. You
is
folded
because he
queen
thinks Soiza might be
yesterday.
trapping occasionally.
So ace jack.
That's so different. And it was the right fold. Why can't I aces?
I know. But you triple up.
Yeah. Fuck. I'll be Daniel DeForest now.
Can you count for me exactly how much? 250, 275,
275
right?
to be exact.
275.
1 player folds. Soiza with a hand that's going to do pretty well against a wide range of hands, including very strong ones.
Given how much, yeah, he should be making this call.
You
It's
can
not much
snap,
of a stack.
Maybe. Okay.
Not much of a stack, as you
I
can
don't like-
see.
I like to see ace jack
He's not far behind.
better than jack queen.
Yeah, I think he was getting the right
Can't do
price,
only
just
for
given the
3
antes in the game.
Ace queen I still shove.
Yeah, I know, but it's still kind of like
Yeah.
40% almost, you know,
Yeah.
when it gets to queen.
Winford, the slight
queen
favorite
at
to double up.
40%?
Almost, yeah. I think so.
That's
Yeah, it's
okay.
game, man, I tell you. Man, this is
And
not
a
short
much
deck
bigger
flop, come on.
favorite now.
Short deck
Okay.
turn, 10.
Will we have the
7,
ever-present
8,
sweat on the
9.
turn?
10 is a good strat, I guess.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Well,
Yep.
better than nothing, I guess.
Oh, give him a jack now.
Come on.
Give him a jack. Hey, you said you double me up, you're happy.
Yeah, I don't mind. Small one.
See? You have to keep your promise.
Winford, you stays alive.
Sorry. Okay, I just said before. If all my gears are on, I'm gonna win. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. I already got this all planned out.
Boris, the idea of taking a flop with you. You want to push out players. Say Divorce has a hand like, pocket queens occasionally. You don't want him to like call it off.
Mike Haxton in relatively bad shape. Still always a huge sweat. King, Jack, 8. So Ike does catch a jack.
2 jacks remaining.
Club on the turn would give him additional outs. That is a club on the turn. 25% chance Ike Haxton survives this hand. 75% chance he goes broke.
GG, Ike.
Ike Haxton eliminated in 11th place. Hopefully he gets some rest, some vitamin C, echinacea, zinc. Let's do it.
And he will, because this is the type of texture where your opponent just doesn't fold the flop. They got king, queen, they got the nuts. They got queen, jack, they got a pair and a straight draw. They got jack 10, they're not folding. It just makes a lot of sense to kind of play it passively, try to hit your hand, not get blown off with big draw.
So far, he's taken the passive route, and a club hits the turn, giving Dvorak the nut flush draw as well. Running clubs is a difficult hand to make, but it does happen.
So actually, this is a tricky spot for two pair because you don't like to see the club. You kind of want to bet to protect your hand, but then if you bet, you open yourself to getting raised. And if you get raised, you're probably going to have to lay it down because two pair loses to a flush.
So I guess you just bet and hope not to get raised, right?
Yes, and I think, wow, Wyken, super experienced player. This is really smart. A lot of players would just check because
of the reasons you just mentioned.
Correct. And the reason he's betting, he's thinking, look, if Dvorak had king-queen, he would never just let this go check call on a flop. So he knows he's usually got the best hand. He probably expects Dvorak to bet like a set, jacks on the flop. Just take a more aggressive line. The fact that Dvorak just check calls the flop makes it look like he's got ace-queen, ace-king, queen-jack, king-jack, these types of hands. And I think Wyken here can really play perfectly on the river and not put in more chips behind.
And Dvorak does hit one of his outs. Straighten eyes. Hello, my babies, and welcome back to the Maestral Resort and Casino in Montenegro for the Triton Poker Series Super High Roller. It's an entire series of super high roller events, the smallest of which cost around 11K US. That was for a warm-up event. This one, 750K Hong Kong. Short deck Ante-Only event. It is day one. Before we get things going, Andrew Robles with Marley Cordero.
Hong Kong short deck event. You do not play many tournaments. What about Triton made you want to come out today?
Triton's my favorite stop. There's big buy-ins, a lot of different types of players. It's not all pros. You get people from all over the world. And I love playing tournaments with the Chinese guys because they're not that serious, They're not sitting there with headphones on. They're having a laugh, and it's more fun. It's more like a cash game vibe than the other high-stakes tournaments.
Yeah, what's your experience with short deck, and do you think it's going to replace No Limit in the future?
I've played a lot of short deck. It's a very fast game compared to regular No Limit. There's a lot of all-ins, a lot of excitement. I don't think it will ever replace regular No Limit. It's just regular No Limit I think people like more because you're out of more pots. It's more patient. It's a little bit slower. Short deck is gamble. So they're two different games, but they're both a lot of fun.
You've been playing high-stakes cash games longer than most people in the world. What's the secret to longevity?
The secret to longevity, I guess, would be, balance in life. A lot of people succeed for a few years, but if you have only the, around-the-clock gambling and party lifestyle, it's really easy to burn out and not be able to compete anymore after a few years.
Makes sense. Well, good luck to you, and get back in there.
Yep. Thank you, Marley.
Thank you.
Andrew Roble, elusive, has been here the entirety of this series. Did not play many events. You know why, Dave Tuckman?
Why?
Clandestine cash games.
Yeah.
I am Joe Stapleton. He is David Tuckman. We are pulling the night shift.
You got it. There you go. Devin Tang, our chip leader at this table. Not many chips at this table, though, as you can see. Paul Pua with 85 antes. Rui Cao, who won the short deck main event at this table as well. Sergey Lebedev. More of him. And how about Robert Flink, everybody's favorite.
Professor Flink. The robots are due to rise up in exactly... Oh.
Antes 5,000. I like how Andrew Roble is very delicately answering the question. So what do you like about Triton? When he could have just come out and be like, well, I like making money. And I can make money here because I'm better than most people at poker.
You're not really supposed to tap the glass, Dave.
Sorry.
Hold on a second. I think I hear the sound of Dave
tapping the glass. Players making their way back to the table. And
now we've got 2 featured tables in this 750K event. We did have a final table happening on the one right in front of your very eyes. Now there are 2 tables in this event.
As if the game wasn't fast enough. We're just going to hop from table to table, from hand to hand, from all in to all in. Non-stop action here at the Triton Super High Roller Series in Montenegro. Have you gotten outside yet?
No.
You have to get outside before you leave.
I will get outside tomorrow when I get my car to the airport.
What time's your flight?
My flight is at 3 p.m.
Okay. So you can wake up in the morning and at least dip your toes in the Adriatic Sea.
I will see the view from the valet circle. I will breathe in the morning fumes. I will sit in the vehicle. And I will be taken to the airport. That's how I do.
That's it.
It's not martyrdom enough for me if I actually go out and enjoy myself. I'll try, Dave. I don't know what to tell you. It is effing beautiful outside. And a bit of a shame that I have seen so little of it. But there's poker to be commented on. And we are doing more of that now. Rui Cow, the winner of the $1 million short deck main event, alive and well in this one. Paul Pois. I think I might have led you down the primrose path with the pronunciation.
It's not Pois.
It's Pois.
Pois.
Yeah.
Oh, fight that.
Are we just going to change it every day?
I say Pois when I'm trying to, like, over-enunciate it. But just Pois.
But it's not Paul Pois. It's not Paul.
Paul Pois.
Pois. It is Pois now.
Yeah. Not foie. Just like it's P-W-A-H. Pois.
I'm just going to call him Paul.
Paul it is.
Paul it is. We do know it's Devin Tang. That much we do know. He's raised to 50,000 and Devin takes it down. Joe Stapleton, I'm David Tuckman. You are whoever you might be. Thanks for joining us, guys. I see you. We were 10,000 strong earlier today. That was exciting. Sergey Lebedev, who made the final table earlier today, loves it so much, took a short break, came right back in. Action on Flink. $23 players left out of a starting field of 38. Again, registration still open.
The box. I can't see.
King, Jack 6, 2 hearts. Queen 10 is open-ended. That's about it.
Yeah, not much there for anybody. And that bet gets through from Devin. Give it to him.
T-Tors, T-Tors.
Devin Tang now on 504,000 chips. The troll bosser seems to be on top of it. He says it is Pois.
Yeah, P-W-A-A.
In fairness, that's what we were calling him, right? And then we changed it to Pois because he called himself Pois, right?
No, we were saying foie.
And now and then we went to Pois.
Well,
and
we
now
didn't
it's
ever
Pois.
go to Pois. You started saying Pois because I was saying it as an exaggerated way.
Oh, I thought it was Pois.
Like the way I might for emphasis call Mike McDonald Mike MacDonald.
I always thought his name was Mike MacDonald.
You would say MacDonald.
That's what I thought his name was. Joe, I listened to you.
We've been
I listened
together.
to all your.
We've been in this booth too many hours. Let's
I listened
focus
to
on the
all your
poker.
commentary.
Even Tang, betting 20,000 with top pair, good kicker.
Paul Poix.
You got it.
Has
There it
a
is.
really nice hidden draw here. He's got a little open-ended straight draw with the overcards to the jack and the 9. He's gonna have a lot of equity here. I like his hand. On a rainbow board, Paul's hand is kind of cool. Lebedev in there with the drawing to the. He's got, actually, Lebedev's actually got the double gutter. Pardon me. He's got a 10 or a 6, which is why he's in there. So I fumble through that. Almost missed it again. I'm going, why would he draw just to the 10? Because the 6 is good too.
Yeah.
Board pairs. Tough to go for those straight draws now.
Không có lỗi mà. Được rồi.
50,000 bet from Devon is called by Lebedev with the double gutter.
Yeah, he was drawing live. And fortunately for Devon Tang, he was facing 2 straight draws, and he got the straight draw that would have beaten him out. Ace-queen on this kind of run out. I think betting now would be a little thin, and he checks. I like this check. And let's see if Lebedev bets it. He has essentially nut low. He can't beat the board. Just not sure he's deep enough to get a big ace to fold. And Lebedev decides not to bluff at that one. And Tang takes it. Continue on. Antes are 5,000.
Yeah, we got a mic. You can't have the Chun Tong show without a microphone.
Good point. Rui Cow, probably reading all about himself, the write-up, after winning the 1 million short deck championship.
Definitely not scrolling through Tinder. But Farm Poker says, "Pooh-ah sounds too much like hoo-ah from Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman." To quote Rainer Wolfcastle from The Simpsons, "That's the joke."
You know, it's funny, as you bring up The Simpsons and Game of Thrones is on everybody's mind, people talk about, the greatest show of all time. And to me, there's no question it's The Simpsons. There are plenty of other really great shows. But nothing, in my opinion, that compares to The Simpsons. Flink. Chun. All in. King, Queen versus Ace, Jack. It's a fair fight.
Almost a 50-50.
53-46.9. And both players get a piece of it.
And both
River
players turn
is a
piece.
queen, and the Ace-Jack makes a straight. Flink with the double.
I have 124.
Oh,
Okay.
Chun loses a bullet. So they call a bullet here. Usually you and I would call it a lammer, but I'm okay, as long as you guys understand what we're talking about.
Just a little chip in front of you. You can see he's got one in his hand right there. When you buy in, you get 3 of those. Each one of them is worth 100K. You can buy in for, you can trade them all in for 300K in chips at the beginning if you want, but if you don't, the other 2 are not in play.
Capico says it's past 3 p.m. where I am, so it's whiskey o'clock.
This is mine, right?
I don't know why you have to adhere to any silly time thing. This can always be whiskey o'clock.
Rui Cal's championship hat has been slowly working its rotation around his head. It moves at the exact same speed as the hour hand on a clock, so it does a full rotation every 24 hours. Lebedev all in, 75,000 with ace 10 of hearts.
$75.
65 for Rui to call.
Weird.
Gamble. Well, let's gamble. Sergey looking for a double here. He has Rui dominated, but you can see still pretty close. Not as close anymore.
Ace high flop. Spade's not a factor.
Only a 9. We'll win it for Rui, and that is not a 9. 6 of diamonds in the river, and Lebedev, Sergey, with the full double to 170,000. 25 players remain. You're probably thinking, wait, Tuck, there was 23 left a couple of minutes ago. Registration's still open. Let's go to the other table. Isaac Axton, Bodziakowski. Some big names at this table. You know, it's funny when you talk about the best players out there these days, Makita's name doesn't often come up, but it should. And I think when you talk to people in the know, when you talk to the poker community, and they talk about some of the great MTT players out there, multi-table tournament players out there, Makita Bodziakowski's name does come up.
All in.
Greenwood's all in. Watson calls.
He'll fight.
And it's just that stage of the tournament.
Getting right.
Every hand seems like it's an all in and a
Did
call.
fine. You both did fine.
Yeah.
Greenwood's got his bullet in his hand already. But he's got a lot of outs here.
There's the
King, a
board.
jack, or a 10. There's a 10. He makes the straight.
Not a fair fight.
Not a fair fight.
I'll tell you, Watson has not run well this week. He's had a tough go of it, and I kind of feel bad for the man.
Yeah, he did crack aces with jacks in the last session.
I feel like that head shake. I feel like every time I'm looking at Watson, he's getting it in as like a 50-50 or maybe slightly ahead. And he seems to lose more than his fair share.
Oh, yeah, the Mad Dog has been fixed this week.
And you can see he's
Nikita, did Jason
back down to 100,000.
Next Triton, they're going to try to have everyone gets a run it once chip.
Or run it twice chip.
Run it twice chip in the short deck tournament, and you can use it like whenever you're all in.
Only one per bullet.
Only one.
The whole tournament.
Only once in the whole tournament, yeah. And
That's pretty cool.
It goes in position. So like if you're all in versus me, you need to decide whether or not to use
He's
it.
a big enough nit to use it himself, so you don't have to waste yours.
Wow,
I like that idea.
Gotta save it for the bubble, right?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta save it for
Got it.
something.
We were saying one of the like.
I mean, man, I would have used mine level 1 of this tournament earlier. Straight up. Me and Ivan played a 940K pot on Queen Jack 10, my ace king against his queens, and I would have just been like, twice, let's go.
I wouldn't say this would be a GTO play.
I know, yeah, you just gotta run it hard, don't you? Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd have been a nit play.
Now, we can't give you guys a
I wouldn't be
lammer.
in 2 bullets. I made him run the second board. We would have chopped.
But if you guys like the dealer button, the all-in triangle, and you're watching on Twitch, you can click on the link that Nightbot's putting out there. We are giving away a prize package of an all-in triangle, a dealer button, and a playing card signed by Linus Love.
What?
Yeah, Linus Love.
Wait, how do I do this?
Free to enter.
How do I enter?
Well, if you check out this link here from Nightbot, click on it. It'll have all the T's and C's.
I love Linus Love.
Linus
that
Love,
playing card.
I mean, look, there's a lot of bespoke items in that prize package.
More than 300 behind.
And if you want to see an interview with Linus Love, you should subscribe on YouTube so that way you don't miss any of the videos that are coming out, including the cash games that are being shot here. And once again, Watson all in.
By the way, the players seem really casual, and I think sometimes you don't realize that they're playing for essentially $100,000 each.
They sure are. And 10-10-8 is this flop. Watson behind, but has lots of outs.
Oh, and more outs now. Look at that. A 9, a jack, a queen, or an ace, and there's the queen. Watson
finally
doubles
wins one.
up. Mad Dog. I kind of like that idea. It's kind of a fun idea where they
2 black aces.
they get to run it twice, once per tournament.
If I get aces right here, I'm just limping. Telling you guys straight up. Setting the trap on your asses.
It'd be so easy to call when he shoves now.
I've always been a Jason Kuhn fan, but I got to tell you, I never quite thought he was this funny. We need to keep this guy tired more often.
Some people are at their best
You
when they
asked for
are
this.
in a weakened emotional state. Kuhn all in with King Jack.
Watson with the same hand. Tough to call here. He's still got to worry about 2 players behind him.
Nobody's smoking over here yet. It's like so strong. Smoke, even right here, it's so strong.
This game is just one of those games where you kind of have to gamble and get a stack. He's going to gamble.
So easy.
It's actually not much of a gamble.
How
If he
good is
gets
it,
everyone
Mike?
else to
Not that
fold,
good.
he and Jason
Alright.
get to chop up the antes.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
get Jason Kuhn in your hand.
Yeah, so very good.
I
The
can't
old
lose against
Jason Kuhn.
I also had King Jack off.
yeah, so this is...
All right, 9-7 to diamond.
Doesn't matter what you had, you guys are gonna win.
Chop it up.
Your hand.
Hey, would you be against, just in the
Actually losing.
the thought of just saving time?
Hard. Yeah. only a
Not-
couple.
Player turns King Jack, another player
off?
turns over King Jack. Just go, you know what?
9-7 to diamond.
Let's just
was,
go. Take your chips back.
Feeling pretty good about.
I think you got to run it out just in
Got me
case.
out of the flop.
Oh yeah, that's the only hand. Queen 10 off is the actual only hand.
No, King 10 also.
Oh yeah.
And Jack 10.
Thinking that was a chop for some reason. Jack 10 wasn't a winner?
No, it was 6, 7, 8, 8.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a few. All right.
Still very few.
Yeah. All respectable hands.
You tell him, Makita.
All right. How much you played?
32 antes. 32.4. I know exactly what to call you with. Ah, yeah. I fold.
You fall? No.
Very top.
I'll put extra 10K.
Stone, extra 10.
Jakowski all in for 495,000.
Stone top.
Kuhn's gambling.
Let's see a flop.
20K.
This is the game to do it in.
Make you too good.
Yeah, oh no, he's not. Okay, I thought he was.
You-
Looked
you
like he was going to
call out.
gamble. I thought he called. Calling with King 9 suited is most definitely a gamble.
Definitely.
The crazy thing is, against Ace Queen, he's in pretty good shape.
I say 35% of the field calls that hand. Maybe more.
Let's flip it to the side there. Lebedev all in for 67,000. Flink all in with jacks. It's the classic. It's everybody's favorite.
Flipping Flink.
Yep, episode 4 of season 3, Ace King versus Jacks. I've watched this one over and over again.
Does it ever end any differently?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those weird choose your own adventures. Ooh, what's going to happen this time? Tune all in too. Look at this. Queen 10, Ace King, Jacks. 180,000 in there. 24,000 on the side. Flink's got them both covered.
Can Jacks hold? I say nay. Up against the field, he is not doing so hot.
No. There's a jack, though. But the Queen 10's open-ended here. Ace-King not looking very good. 7, not going to help him. Ace-King's drawing dead. And the river's a queen, and the jacks hold.
That's all I had to do is say that they had no chance.
Flink eliminates 2 players. Well, he eliminates Sergei Lebedev. Chun just reaches in his pocket for another bullet, and we continue on. Let's see if Sergei decides to rebuy. My guess is absolutely, positively yes. It's kind of funny. Some of the tournament buy-ins, they're all huge, obviously, ranging from 12,500 US. There's the rebuy. Ranging from 12,500 US up to 125,000 US. But every one of these events is a re-entry tournament.
Unlimited re-entry.
Right. And I would say that the vast majority of the field, I would say the average player is probably re-entering maybe like a half a time each tournament, maybe even 1.5. So, the 1 million Hong Kong is really like a 1.5 million Hong Kong.
Yeah.
This one is probably closer to a full million Hong Kong when you factor in the re-entries. Pair of kings here for Flink. Not much going on for Chun. He's going to bet. Flink's not a believer. Six on the turn. Flink with 2 pair now. Chun has picked up a straight draw.
How much left?
75.
Yeah, Flink says, you know what? You got me, you got me.
He ain't got him.
He didn't have him. Flink's up to 400,000. What's up, chat? 5566889922. Hey, Capico. T-Rat. I'm not going to read your whole name. It's too many. And the caps and the lowercase, I can't do it. I'm a Pest. Goldfish. Miami. Elefalates. Shoehorn Hands. The Chap Gamer. Ian Sheriffs. Thanks for joining us, guys. If you have any questions for us, you can tweet us at Tuck on Sports, at Stapes. Of course, Randy will be joining us later on. You can tweet him at NanoNoco. Use the hashtag Triton Poker, and we'll get to as many questions as we can. Moonlight Master. Paw Paw wearing his white hat. If you guys want any of that Triton gear that you've seen, you can go to the Triton website. It's all available, including Joe Stapleton's shirt.
Might be. Yeah.
I feel like at the end of the series, there should be like, if you're ever watching a European football match, where the players exchange jerseys at the end, I feel like you and Randy Lou should exchange jerseys at the end.
I feel like if Randy put this jersey on, he would immediately die of disease, pestilence, and various types of pasta sauce. My shirt smells like a buffet.
Probably why I'm hungry right now. Flink under the gun with Queen 10 of Hearts. He's going to raise to 30,000.
Raise.
You have a good hand?
I'm 10K, right?
A7 is played far more often in this game than I would have expected, and far more aggressively.
Very tight for.
Yeah, I think you're blocking the bigger aces. It actually plays pretty well. You've got a straight draw on both sides.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can be tricky here.
Take a look at the 12bet.com chip counts. Robert Flink on 431,000. Not a lot of chips at this table, as you might see. Rui Cow, Paul Pois can't get away from each other. There is the sleepy face of Jason Kuhn. Looks like he's chipped up a little bit.
Still 2 over.
No, I thought at least 7-8 he would, for 20 antes, he would. 7-6 makes more sense because I thought at least 7-8 you do the like how much and then.
We've turned up Sam Greenwood's mic.
How much it was with 7-8.
Kuhn's going to limp in under the gun. Greenwood under the gun +1 with ace queen. Almost definitely a shove here.
On.
It is a shove.
Sam, how much did you play, Jason?
62.5 ante.
I don't think Bodzikowski's going to call with queen jack. I feel like Kuhn, Bodzikowski, that kind of like 300,000 to 600,000 stack is an inflection point. You're either going to go back down to 100 and like restart,
right?
Or you're going to get it up to $1 million and actually be a player.
If I got it up to like 500K and then had 125 after that, I'd probably cry. Just enough to start thinking about not having to re-enter.
There was a big cash game playing last night, and I walked up to Paul Pois and asked him if I could jump in. He asked me if I had the money. He then told me that it was they were playing short deck, 2,000 ante, so 4,000 on the button. Needless to say, I didn't play.
Or do you? Who has which one?
I have ace queen.
And ace 10 is doing just fine.
Yeah, he's 50% here. He's looking for a 10 or an 8. Come on, Cooney. There it is. 10 of clubs. Jason Kuhn. I shouldn't be rooting for anybody, but
10K in reds.
He's funny. He's good for the table.
You can root for the most emotionally distraught person to double up.
Yeah.
From a commentator's perspective, we've been doing this for 11 days. I'm gonna root for the guy who's talking the most. Jason Kuhn is currently making our job the easiest. Rui Cow putting some pressure on with the 10-9 suited. Paul doesn't like it, but his hand goes in the muck. Thanks for joining us, guys. Just a couple more days after this. Tomorrow we'll see the final table of this tournament.
You saw? Like 8 offsuit.
When?
He named raise. He cost.
See the game.
No. Tournament.
Oh.
I'm so glad, if for nothing else, that
I rocked Paul.
this Triton series has introduced me to Rui Cow. He's a character. I like him.
I mean, this is a race. Like,
Yeah,
it's okay.
Because he has both. Yeah, it's a race.
Well, Rui Cow might get some action here from Paul Pois.
Yeah. It's a race.
This is a big hand brewing. Ace queen, jack 10 suited, queens. In the early going of a tournament, during the registration period, I could see this getting 3 ways all in.
Squeeze. Shower. Sunday.
Paul's got some gamble in him.
Very good hand.
Yeah, Rui is a character.
Nobody folds ace queen. Ace queen not doing terrible against queens.
No, it's not.
He doesn't
That's the
know
crazy
that.
thing.
And he does fold ace queen. And Paul's going to gamble.
You know Paul's going to gamble here.
Hooah.
Ace, king, queen flop.
Real hands, actually.
There's only one queen left in the deck.
Yeah.
Hasn't really stopped it from turning up.
When
No.
getting called, have a hand. I'm kidding. When getting called, you have a hand. The rock.
Ayo.
Well, there it is. I've got an action flop here. A set of queens, a straight draw. Man, if somehow they had seen a flop, all the chips are going in for sure. Oh, and look at that.
It's a spade.
Yeah. You make the straight, but Rui makes the flush. Oh. Can you imagine everybody, if they saw that flop? Flink would have had top two, a set versus an open-ended straight draw.
And that's why you get people to fold pre-flop.
Amazing. Rui Cow wins a big pot there.
I don't think I'm
Head over to the other table here. This is table red. Haxton in there with jacks. He's on 724,000. Greenwood with queen 10, thinking, do I want to gamble? He does.
Yeah, he does.
It's one of those, I know I'm behind, but whatever.
You did good.
Oh, well, I might be too dominated with the queens.
I think you got to call with 20 ante.
So Haxton's got these two covered.
Yeah, 375,000 in there.
Action Haxton with the Jacksons.
The pot, side pot, by the way, is 240,000.
And
Wait.
9, 9,
I'll take that
6.
Yeah, jacks are good right now.
Two
spades
spades.
out there, though. Oh, how about that one?
Oh, that's
Full
a good
house. And
Greenwood can still hit a spade, but he does not.
exactly. Flushes do beat full houses in the game.
Jacks are hot right now. Jacks are hot.
So Haxton wins the main pot, the side pot, eliminates two players.
The
Well,
tertiary
Watson
pot.
is actually eliminated. He's lost all his bullets. He's taken the mic off. Greenwood still has another bullet left.
Still 4.
And Isaac Haxton is up to 1.3 million.
Well, we're three-handed.
No, we're not.
Oh, no, sorry. I looked to see if he had bullets, and he didn't. But then he had one laying in the middle of the table.
Jason Kuhn quite tired, and I can relate.
Haxton, by the way, has 3 final tables this series.
Continue to be the
Two
That's
second
it?
place finishes.
Is that how it goes?
Just 2 final tables.
Take your word for it.
What'd you say?
I said I'll take your
Shade
word for it.
1228 says Greenwood stopped playing online poker.
Let's come
Is
up.
it when I have 20?
He has been playing.
Yeah, he stopped today.
So where was the button last time?
sure
Sam
it
was on the
Sam
button?
was the button last
I
time.
thought when it might be smart when you get deep enough that
I think it's
Why the
great.
button?
when you're
Just
shallow, like the
because
putting in too
you-
much costs too much.
You should not be missing under
You
the
can
gun.
jam
That's
on these guys.
the idea, yeah.
I think
I don't know that it's the best rule, but
Yeah,
I know
I
that
think-
it is the rule.
Triton
Hey.
always willing to listen to player feedback. There will likely be some
King of Spades exposed.
slight rule changes between
King of
stops.
Spades is exposed.
What's up?
That's
What's
what,
up,
you know,
Dave?
what a lot of series talk about being for the player, but Triton is really, really about the players because the people that run it play. So they listen to the players and they see what they like and they see what they don't like. And Kuhn is all in from the cutoff with A7.
Had a card.
He's going to win
Had
it.
a card.
The Gavin Smith charity event. By the way, if any of you are interested in that, you can follow Joe on Twitter at Stapes, and he has posted some information about that. It's a great cause for Gavin Smith's children. Is there going to be a silent auction there?
I don't know.
I believe there will be, yes.
You know what? I'm thinking some game-worn clothes.
Look,
commentary-worn clothes.
I talked to
I'm going to put it this way. If you put up something like that,
Spots.
I'll start the bidding. $150.
I talked to Brian Balsba about the silent auction, and I said, look, I'm willing to donate some things, but I just don't want to embarrass myself by putting something up for auction that
100?
Nobody
literally
bids on.
no one wants. So
I actually think, you know what you should put up there? This would be great. I don't know if you're a good cook or not. Got an all in here. I'm going to ask the chat if they think this would be a good thing for you to put forward. Rui Cow. All in. Well, he calls Chun's all in. It is Chun at risk right now at 10-8. Rui Cow with ace-10. The hat doesn't look like it's moving, but it is. Joe's on
slowly.
it.
All right, Domination Nation, and the spread leaves us with 7 outs. for
Yeah, Chun
Tom.
looking for an 8 or a 9. Oh, and he makes it right out of the gate there, and 8 will chop it up. Otherwise, Chune's going to double up here, and there he goes, gets the full double up. Okay, so I'm going to throw this at the chat, okay? Would you, if you were at a charity event, so it was for charity, and there was a silent auction, would you bid money on having Joe Stapleton come to your house, cook you dinner, well, cook you and maybe a party of 4, dinner, and also entertain you with jokes all night? See, I would bid on that.
1 for yes, 2 for no.
Yeah. Would you? 1 for yes, guys. For my, you know what? Here. 1. I would absolutely pay for that. Can you cook?
I'm sure the person who lives absolutely the furthest away will bid the most.
There had to be a limitation
right.
to it. Like, you've got to live in, you live in LA, so it's got to be in the LA area.
Or somewhere I go to.
Right, and it's got to be when you're there. Like, you're not going to, you're not going to spend $1,200 to fly somewhere so you can cook this guy dinner. That's a little ridiculous.
Rui Cal limps under the gun with kings, and the trap is going to work.
So,
depending on the run out, at least.
Yeah, he couldn't eliminate Chune last hand. Can he do it this time? 260,000 in there. Queen 10-10. Kings in the lead here. Chune looking for a jack or an ace. He's got 7 outs.
6 a brick.
Still 7 outs. Pot is 260,000. And Chune hits it.
No
2 hands
doubt.
in a row.
No, never any doubt.
Look at
when
this.
in doubt, just suck out.
Spin it up, Chuney.
Welcome to cold deck. I meant short deck.
Wow, our big hand could be this. Ace on the river, king against aces.
What is your cooking specialty? Do you have one?
I make a delicious crispy chicken sandwich.
There you go.
If I have all day, I make a delicious marinara sauce, meatballs from scratch.
Wow. See, I will, if you put that forward, I'll start the bidding at $150.
Well, I might just come over to your house and make dinner for you anyway.
Winner, winner. Look at this.
Winner, winner, Stapes makes dinner.
Check.
Little bump in the road there for Rui Cal. Fortunately, a couple of bad beats. Oh, it's overwhelming ones.
1 but no soup. He knows soup is not a meal.
Bottom 2 pair for Rui. On an all-spade board. Chune's got a straight draw plus a spade draw. Pot is 40,000. Guys, it's charity. Ace of clubs at the turn. Imagine a second bet here from Rui will get through. Chune's feeling hot, though, and he's going to let it go. Either that or I would want this, Joe. You can put this one. If it's not cooking, I would want you to come over and commentate on me while I mow my lawn. Just while I do my I do my household chores. You just walk around and commentate.
Oh boy, Paul Pawar wants to get it in. Your poor wife, Dave. Your poor wife.
Yeah, she's a soul. She's a blessed soul. Rui Cal picks up ace king. He's been very active. If you ever want to subscribe to the Mike Caro School of Poker, wear a hat like that and then just be the biggest nit ever.
He is certainly not a nit, raising to 50,000 with ace king.
No, nothing about Rui is a nit. Come on, flank, gamble.
All in.
And he's all in. Oops. Paul Foy gets out of the way. Rui's not going anywhere. Oh, Paul calls too. Rui's still not folding.
Okay.
So it's ace king, ace jack, queen 10. The main pot's 240,000. The side pot 542,000. Rui's got them both covered.
One jack.
King 8-8. That is not a good flop for anybody not named Rui Cal.
Completely fucking dead.
Always a sweat on the turn.
Mother.
No
Except
sweat.
now.
No sweat on the turn.
He's got them both drawing dead. When does that happen?
I have not ever seen that, I don't think.
Pay the man his money.
In all my week of doing short deck commentary, I have never seen that.
Paul Pois has been eliminated.
Hell.
You want to bet on whether he
he'll be
registers
back.
again?
I do not want to bet on that. I know what side I'm taking.
Always have the good hand when you shove. How much you had?
300? Something?
Rui's up to 1 million chips.
He had ace king.
Let's go to the other table here. Sam Greenwood, I Caxton all in. It is Sam Greenwood at risk with king queen, and that is not a great start for him. Both players of the pair. Two pair now for Haxton. Greenwood needs a queen. And Haxton eliminates Greenwood.
2 guys in 45 minutes.
I got you.
So apparently Greenwood will be registering again. He'll be re-entering this one. But he's going to wait until the end of registration.
Oh, sweet. Mike, how much do you have?
Yeah, it's here.
Getting back to the read.
90?
No, the button
85?
should be staying with Jason.
Button should be staying with me. Thank you.
That's weird. Okay.
That is how the rule works. It is not how the rule should work, probably, but it is how the rule works.
Yeah, it's definitely not how the rules should work.
Oh.
Wait, how did that happen?
Sometimes it
Hold on,
happens.
Kate.
Seat opens, a seat
Player
open.
busted from under the gun, so the button was going to stay with Jason. But now we have a new player here. So I guess
New player can come in any
new player comes in and then Paul's button next hand?
Yes, that's correct.
He's button this hand?
No, next hand.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. You don't want the button? Man, you and I both had huge stacks in the beginning of this tournament. We both had to rebuy. All right. Just like the app, push folding our lives away. Jack 8 offsuit he got you.
I call.
I think it's 100 on the nose.
Yes.
Remember, when you rebuy, you get 3 bullets. Each bullet's worth 100,000. You can use one at a time. You can use 2 at a time. You can use all 3. Most of the players opt to use 1. Kind of gamble up a little bit, see if they can run it up. Paul uses 1 and immediately shoves 10-9 offsuit. Haxton says, okay, I'll gamble with you. Ace Queen versus 10-9. And you can see here, guys, it's nearly a coin flip.
I never win one of these against Paul.
I don't know, man. I folded something.
And
I'm never calling Paul again.
Paul flops the nuts.
Let's see if I could have won this.
Haxton drawing dead.
Nope.
Cayodero, this is the 96,000 US buy-in short deck event. If you have any dumb questions, feel free to ask them when we're on the other table. They seem to talk less than this table.
This sucks.
Things are less chatty now.
2. I tried, man. Believe me. Played million pot, 1 million pot, first bullet. And then Richard stacked my kings to ace king all in 3.
Mike Watson, pocket 9s. He's all in. Hang in there, Mad Dog.
Yep.
What happened to Mad Dog's chips? He didn't he have like 400,000? That's short tick.
Don't ask.
About half the field already gone.
Little 400.
Average stack will be about 600,000 chips once all the bullets are in.
Sounds like he's announcing the close of registration. Start of level 9 registration will be closed. We're currently in level 7.
Okay, 10s through queens.
Yeah.
Holding an ace.
Queen jack of diamonds. I take my hand right now, even money.
That's way too many outs.
Oy.
Shocker, another all in here. Watson is drawing dead. That's not good.
Queen jack of diamonds.
Bodziakowski's going to win that. Up to 555,000 chips.
Screw you guys over shove in before.
Fortunately for Mad Dog, he's got a couple of bullets left.
Quick re-entry worthwhile.
Looks like he might use both these bullets at the same time. See if he can gamble this up a little bit. Yeah, he is. He's going to redeem 2 bullets, so he'll get 200,000 chips. Try to gamble up. I think registration closes in about 40 minutes. You heard Sam Greenwood say, "See you guys in 45," and I'm assuming that's what he was referring to. Joe Stapleton stepping out of the booth for a quick dinner break. I do think we'll get a little bit more Stapes before he leaves. Don't fret, don't cry. He's not going anywhere. Fortunately, the players are playing a lot. I think my Joe Stapleton cooking dinner for somebody is, I think that's got legs.
Tell if some of these trade updates if they're trolling people or not. Jawanda's like winning thing. His winning picture says, "From folding quads to winning it all." He folded quads incorrectly.
Yeah, I know.
I just can't tell if they're fucking with people or not.
Of course, we do have a Triton Poker giveaway. Look in the chat. Nightpot, talking about it right now. You get a personally signed card by Linus Love. And all sorts of really cool gear. It's a set of official Triton Poker Tournament button and all-in chip. Cool stuff. See, the antes are up now, 6,000. Not sure we're going to see a flop with 5 players, though. Watson on the button with ace-king. Yep. He sticks it in there. Puts 200,000 in the pot. Bodziakowski, I can't imagine calling with ace-7. Nope. He lets it go. Kuhn's got king-jack. Really depends on whether he wants to gamble or not. I think he knows he's probably behind. Again, the buy-in on this tournament, 750,000 Hong Kong. A lot of these players in for 2 buy-ins. Kuhn thinks about this one. Kyle Darrow says 9s is like shoving with 4s in short deck. You're just looking for a set. I'd say it's even worse because, you know, when you shove pocket 4s, if you're called by ace-king or ace-queen, you're actually a favorite. When you shove 9s and you're called by ace-king, you're a dog. You're actually behind. So. And Kuhn's got some gamble in him. King-jack versus ace-king.
This is scary.
Pot is 430,000.
I had the strangest feeling that you just had an enormous hand somehow here. But I just couldn't bring myself to fold.
Maybe that's why. Ooh, and we got a big
shit.
flop here for both players. Pair of jacks for Kuhn. Watson
Yeah, really.
looking for a queen,
6 of hearts?
an ace, or spade.
Wow.
And somehow,
All right, Mike, you've just surpassed me in the daily run bad.
yeah, there you go. Somehow Kuhn survives
I
that.
think is he a favorite on the turn? I think he might be a favorite on the turn.
I don't know.
He was not a favorite on the turn, but he was a favorite on the flop.
Sorry, man.
Press the button doesn't do anything?
I think I got to call 32 there.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll just take a dinner break.
Yeah, it hasn't been Watson's way this series.
And
Part of the game.
Those of you at home might recognize that voice. That's Randy Lou alongside me. I said Joe Stapleton took a quick dinner break. Randy Lou steps in for him. Take a look at the chip counts here. Isaac Haxton at 1.3 million. Jason Kuhn now 648. Makita at 643, and Paul Pois at 398,000. Mad Dog Watson going to rebuy.
Yeah, so the buy-in is almost 100,000 USD. Pretty sick that we've tripled the buy-in since the last event
pretty
that John
close
Joanna
spot,
just won.
31 antes more. The king just seems too good, I think. After you two fold. Fold 10, fold queen jack. But I think the king is just too good. I just dominate him too much.
Dongelin asking after this one, how many more tournaments left? I believe 2, right? We've got a 500K that starts tomorrow.
And this
Be
one.
all in with every Broadway
So there's no turbo on the last day?
Not that I remember.
Like ace-8 off or better.
I believe, yeah, it should be this one and the next one.
So the 750 will end tomorrow. The 500K starts tomorrow, and then that will end on the 17th. And that's it. We put a bow on this bad boy.
How much are you playing?
Of course, until, I think, July.
Yeah, next time.
Until next time, of course.
Almost back to
Just follow
money
Triton on their
in
social
for.
media channels. They'll let you know when the next series is around.
425, 520. Oh, I am. I'm back to my buy-in. I'm out.
So Bodzikowski opens ace-10 under the gun. Usually you would think your 10-9 is going to be live cards. Actually dominated in this spot.
Dominated, schnominated. Doesn't mean anything in short deck, does it? Look at that.
It's a pretty decent flop for Haxton. Bodzikowski does have an inside straight draw. No diamonds for both players.
Yeah, you can see here, they'll chop this up 46% of the time. Haxton a favorite to win it, though, as he's got a pair.
How many levels we play tonight?
I believe we play 11 tonight. Jason?
What are those teas you drink? I love those teas. What kind? Just normal green tea? Yeah, I'm gonna get me a green tea for sure.
Check
That
back
was
from
really cool
Haxton.
today. That was cool today, yeah.
That is a nasty board.
It worked out. I think it looked good. It was funny, he started giving you the speech like right there. You were like, no, let's go over here and do that. You know, because he was talking over there. Nice guy.
They'll chop this up with a queen, a diamond, or a 7. Wojciechowski can only win it with an ace, or of course he can bluff.
We'll chop 39% of the time.
Yeah, the board's got a straight flush draw. Not this time, though. Somehow, 2-pair is good on this board.
I don't think Wojciechowski thinks he's got the best hand here very often. So there's a chance he turns his hand into a bluff. There's 108,000 in the middle, so it's a raised pot. More reason to fight for it.
You want this tea? Give it one tea.
Oh yeah, green tea, please. Thank you.
Yo, có bé fish. Young.
Divan. Hey, my man. Let's hit some quads on some people. Not on me, not on you. Let's hit quads on these guys.
So Wojciechowski is going to bet 80,000. I think it's necessary once the king comes out because you got third pair.
Yeah, Haxton can only beat an absolute stone-cold bluff. And he is going to let it go.
Straight flush.
Can't blame him. Nice play by Makita.
No straight flush.
No straight flush.
Bluffing with aces.
How can you bluff with aces? It's illegal to bluff with aces.
It's illegal to bluff with aces. I'm very happy about my fold.
Shouldn't be too happy, Haxton. So the other featured table. Flink's got king 10. He's got 30 antes. First to go, 5-handed. Gonna start with a limp. June's got king queen for 30 antes. He's gonna call. Wai Long Chen gonna take the free flop. So no one gets a piece.
Chan takes that one down.
Just 2 tournaments.
Three, I think 3.
Did you rebuy?
Huh?
Did you rebuy?
Is that Michael Soiza? Love me some Soiza. Let's take a look at a chip count here. Rui Cao on 767,000. Chan on 761. Michael Soiza on 750. All three of those players very comfortable right now. Can't get too comfortable in short deck, of course. Robert Flink and Chun with just 29 antes apiece. They're kind of in shove mode, limp or shove, that is.
Yeah, 3 Malaysian players.
So it's very good.
Swedish,
and short one,
France.
Doesn't matter, you rebuy, you buzz, whatever, you know.
Exactly. So this, I say this is like the qualifying round. Who can qualify
Yeah,
for cheapest?
qualifying, yeah.
Who can qualify for cheapest bullets?
Yeah.
Call.
It's not gonna be Ivan.
Maybe this time he's doing good.
Check. 1 bullet?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, one bullet.
1 bullet, yeah, he's doing good. He won an early 3-way all-in pre-flop.
True.
Queens against 2, I don't know what. Sorry? Check. 2 is also very reasonable. Yeah,
It's very low.
yeah, 2 is reasonable. Like, super reasonable.
So Rui Cao is the one going to bet here. Just doesn't have anything.
What's his record in
Gets
bullets?
everyone to fold.
That I know of. You know. 9 entries, not 9 times, not 3 times 3, 9 times 3.
Yeah, no.
Fucking hell, 9 times 3. 9 times 3, bro.
9 rebuys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did 4, 5, 6. 6, I think that's it.
Yeah. Happens.
Back up.
I mean, you know, if you're lucky, first bullet you go deep, you know. And if then you're short all the time on your rebuy. Sure. All in and lose. All in.
That's the most boring part of the game when you're short. You don't get it.
Yeah, it's getting more and more expensive.
Just smile a bit.
So Flink's got King 8 offsuit, trying to take a free flop
I got the 150.
in this cutoff versus dealer button. Is going to get the free flop.
A little bit of something for both players as they both pair their kicker with the king. Soiza way ahead if it gets the showdown. And of course, that's the thing. Never know if it's going to get the showdown here. Triton Super High Roller Series. Flink's turning his pair of 8s into a bluff.
This would be a very big call. Second pair, and looks like he's going to make the call.
Now, he's getting a good price. He's getting 4.5 to 1. He's going to call once.
So another straight gets there if you have an ace.
Good catch there. The ace 6, 7, 8, 9 is a straight.
Thank you.
Flink is wondering, does Soiza have a straight? Or just some kind of 1 pair or 2 pair hand?
I mean, he would check back a lot of 10-8s and stuff like that on the flop, right?
I mean, he would, potentially. I think he could definitely bet the flop of a 10 as well. Does
20
decide to
players
give
remain.
up.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, decides to give up. And it looks like Soiza is actually turning his hand into a bluff.
Yeah. Maybe get 2 pair to fold?
Yeah, just thinks that Flink, if he had a 10, would have just bet himself.
Maybe min raise.
On what river? Good play. It's a decent play, actually. Yeah. Good price to steal.
Take it down, Soiza.
I'm always open to new ways of playing. It's interesting. You don't have to always do the same stuff.
130 behind.
Fold. 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 Heads up, right? All in? All in.
Get an all in here by Soiza. Chun in there as well. Cards in their back. King, Jack, Ace, Jack. And it is Chun at risk right now. Pot's 318,000 chips.
50-50.
These dominated spots are not nearly as bad for the player behind. Jack 9-9.
Jack for a chop.
Not a good flop for Soiza. Very bad turn for him as he's drawing dead.
Yeah, 9 for a chop. Hey, fuck, what the fuck am I thinking?
Yeah. Oh no.
No.
Come on, you already did it. You cannot.
Hey, you called it. You use your calling
I
skill.
was really thinking about the 9, like chop.
You're drawing that.
Comes out, you lose.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah, you realize Jack no good.
Yeah.
King no good. No. Oh, still no good. Sometimes you're drawing that in short take.
What?
You couldn't believe you're drawing that, you know?
Yeah.
Must be some card.
Yeah, short deck.
Some card 9.
Like, fuck, there must be something I can win. Yeah. First, really, I don't believe he got Ace Jack 9, I got King Jack on a button cut off, you know? In denial.
Denial of reality. You lose, Michael.
Oh, well.
講啦，唔好講我原因。
That was funny.
Yeah.
Nice. Chop. Oh, no, not really. Get on the fucking first go. too much. You know, always have outs. Not really, I guess.
So Wylon Chan gonna come along with King Queen of clubs, pocket eights for Soiza. Four-way limp pot.
It's the superstar.
Ace 7-9, 2 clubs out there. Wei Long Chan with the nut flush draw. Nobody has an ace. Decent chance this semi-bluff works.
Nope. Not
Rui's
against Roy
calling
Cow.
with, he's got a gutter.
Funny,
Looking for an 8.
Fucking so high.
I mean, I guess if there's a hand that you actually don't mind calling, it's Jack 6 of spades, right? You're actually ahead of that hand. Chan's going to continue betting, though. And as much as gamble Rui likes, he's not going to gamble there. He's going to let it go. 20 players remain in the field. 46 have entered so far. Registration is still open.
Huh? Stop taking all my chips, William. You had 100K, now I have Keep taking my chips.
You got too much. It's okay. My friends should share.
My turn.
Check. Heads up.
Rui Cow in there with Jack 10. Once again, these two battling it out. And once again, an interesting flop. Chan with a straight draw. Rui with overcards and a gut shot. You can see that Rui's actually a favorite.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to show down a hand, though.
Yeah, no, of course. Sometimes what the percentages show doesn't necessarily equate to how you'll win. Hard to realize your equity in many spots. But Chan actually makes a straight on the turn.
He probably wants to bet, try to get value out of another straight, 2 pairs.
Yeah, it's always a dream when there's a one-liner to a straight like that, and you've got the top end too.
The nut straight.
Grinding it out. Just double up from them, okay, not me. These two.
Follow it. My fucking dog every time say he accumulate chips and give me. He can take all my chips. So many tournaments bust me the fucker.
Pocket 10's definitely a hand you want to just call with.
Don't look at my chips.
Hmm?
Look at my chips.
All my chips, fuck it, all my chips. Check.
So a free flop for Flink.
I'm taking it back with interest.
Ace, King, Queen out there. Not exactly the flop you're looking for when you got 2 10s. Chan with a pair of queens, the same straight draw as Soiza has. Flink with a gut shot. He's looking for the case 10.
Check.
Turns the 9 of clubs. Chan way ahead here, but this might be a situation whoever bets takes it. 54,000 in there.
Looks like Soiza's thinking about betting here because he is first to act. He can easily represent a hand like ace, king, ace, queen, king, queen. He knows no one has a straight when everyone checks. And this should get everyone to fold.
One thing that I've noticed in this game that I find interesting is sometimes if you bet on the flop,
Bet the flop set 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
He's hostile, bro.
Fucking no queen, no king, so.
Do not have flush.
Flush, yeah.
Against full house.
let's switch to the other table
Aces
here.
with the ace of diamonds.
Pick up the action on an 8-6-8 flop. Two hearts
I
out
think
there. Haxton with trip
Diamonds
eights.
probably bluffs with.
This is a limp pot. Bodzikowski is first to act. He's going to check. Devin Tang, King Jack. Does he want to stab at it? Nope. So Haxton, trip
I don't
eights.
know. I didn't see the hand.
Probably doesn't think anyone has too much. Is going to reach for a little bit of chips, it seems. Wants to try to get some value out of a slow played hand. 35,000. Now, Mikita Bodzikowski here might think he's got the best hand against a dealer button. He basically looks like Haxton's got an 8 or nothing. It's important that the 6 exists
Registration close.
because
Oh,
he
still
can't get
open,
counterfeited.
Yeah, he's got 4 minutes.
Yeah, registration open for a few more minutes. Devin Tang gets out of the way, I think. Yep, heads up here. Bodzikowski in bad shape.
Younger, final level to enter. 4 minutes.
We know Haxton is going to bet again here for value. The question is how much. He's probably hoping Bodzikowski has a hand like pocket 10s, pocket jacks, pocket 9s.
Yeah, it's a pretty wet board. Haxton can rip all those kind of cards, right?
Yeah, you could have like 10-9 would make a lot of sense as a bluff.
The fact that Bodzikowski has a 7 of hearts in his hand, does that make it a little less likely Haxton's bluffing?
I mean, the fact that he's holding 2 7s is going to make it less likely he's bluffing too, because 7-9 would want to multi-barrel.
Even like an ace-7 type hand, you know, because you've got that gut shot with the overcard.
Yeah.
180.
It's actually going for an overbet.
Yeah.
So
Haxton's so creative, I love
Very
it.
greedy bet. It does seem like Bodzikowski is on kind of like that one pair hand, unlikely to turn to queen. Trying to make his hand look like a bluff as best as possible, but just gonna get the 7s to fold.
Hi. Could I have 2 chicken soups and a sauteed garlic vegetable? Broccoli? Broccoli sauteed? Perfect, thank you. 2 chicken soups. If you could tell them.
Kuhn doing his best to make us hungry.
Excuse me. I'll take one of those vegetables.
Yep, he's hungry.
Excuse me. I'll take that too. Send it to the commentary room. Yep.
Chain reaction.
Not gonna get it. Yeah. Man.
Mm.
Let's go to the other table.
75. 75 definitely call it. No, you raise.
Players going on break fairly shortly, and when they go on break, we will as well. Jungle Man gets in just in time.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So this is the last level to register.
It's a good flop for me. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not good flop. It's okay. It's okay. No straight. Like double.
Yeah. Hit and run. Huh? He took all my chips. William, hit and
Ace
run
king
me.
for flank. He's all in for 94,000.
Huh?
He came with 100, right?
Yeah.
It's like 700, 800. Yeah. More maybe.
600K?
Really? Oh my.
All in. Win. Bye. That's good news for you. You can do the same, right? It goes super fast, you know.
Yeah. Money. Must be nice to have too much, huh?
So players will go on a 15-minute break and then come back for what I believe is just 2 more levels. And then, of course, we'll pick up the action tomorrow at our normal start time. A lot of poker tomorrow. We'll have the making the money in this tournament, the final table, of course, crown a champion in this big event. And then we'll pick up the action with the 500,000 event, which is the last event of this Triton series. Kate's under the gun with ace-jack. Soiza wants to play. He's going to call as well. Flink with the ace-8 offsuit on the button. He's going to tap the table, tosses chips in the pot. We'll see a flop. 48,000 in there. King 10-7. Kind of an interesting flop for Soiza. Open-ended. Cates has got a gutter.
Makes a lot of sense that Cates is going to bet here. He can represent ace-king, king-queens. Is firing big, trying to get a 10 to fold. Soiza will call in position.
Heads up to the turn, 108,000 in there. 10 on the turn. And now Cates checks. Check, check. River's a 9 and Soiza gets there.
So Cates is going to put Soiza on a king a lot of times. 10 would probably bet the turn. Queen Jack would consider betting the turn a decent amount. So Cates trying to decide, can he bluff?
Can he get a hand like King Jack to fold here?
Yeah, definitely possible. I think King Jack would probably strongly consider folding. You can see he's really thinking it through. Doesn't think Soiza is that strong. But he actually made the straight on the river.
Wow, goes check, check.
I'm very surprised it goes check, check.
Wow. I mean, I'm not surprised that Jungle Man didn't bet, because if you put your opponent on a hand like King Jack and you don't think they're going to fold, okay, you give up. Nothing wrong with that. But just for a quick second, I'm wondering, why does Soiza not bet the straight there?
Yeah, I'm guessing that Soiza just thought he couldn't get called by worse in that spot.
Yeah, welcome into the booth here, Andy Liu. I'm David Tuckman. Thanks for joining us here. The 750,000 buy-in short deck tournament is, well, registration is closing. It'll be closed at the start of the next level. We have 2 more levels tonight. We'll have over 50 players in when it's all said and done. We're down to about 23, 24. Should be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's been a super exciting day. We did crown John Joanda as the champion. We're going to play down to day 2 today. We'll see you guys soon. We're going to go for a quick little highlights.
Call.
Aces.
Nice little spot for Cates to double up here. Pot's back to 1.26 million.
He isn't fucking around.
I wasn't lying.
When he said aces, I thought
ace 8 or something.
Yeah, poker gods.
I thought there was like a
poker
30%
gods.
chance he had aces there.
Dan said he wanted to get it in
Gave me
good.
the cooler first, and then maybe they'll give me the bad beat.
This is a cooler.
Win-win scenario for
Oh, this
Dan
is also
Cates.
cooler, yeah, but you haven't won yet.
Chips or bedtime?
When you win, it's kind of sick to me, right?
At least
Well.
with your cards over here, you can't.
Wykin's actually picked up 2 extra outs here.
Yep.
He's got a straight draw. He's got backdoor clubs.
True.
What else do I want? Oh yeah. You're the one with the jack.
Non-club pairing of the board. We'll seal it up, though. Nope.
A queen wins it for Wykin. Otherwise, Cates will double up to 1.26 million.
Any queen is fine.
4 queens in the deck. 1 card to come.
Hiya.
Good night, Dan Cates.
Yep. All right. Thank you, poker gods. That's all I wanted. Just a nice, fair loss or something, whatever, something like that.
Go to bed.
Take my money.
Go to bed.
There's a gentleman who does not have a big head, but clearly has a big brain.
Indeed. Pocket queens for divorce, wasting no time to raise. Lebedev with jacks. Divorce starts the hand with over 1.5 million chips. Just about 8 times what Lebedev has.
Hold on.
Whoa, wow. So Lebedev's all in for 1.5 million. Juwanda's not going to call with 10s, I don't think.
I think jacks are right on the line. And especially with this action in front, 10s become below the line.
Yep. In the muck.
Yeah, count, please.
Divorce is going to get a count. We can tell you that it's 1.27 million to call. Pot is 1.8 million, so he's getting 3 to 2. He can afford it for sure. And it's rare that you're this big a favorite
It's less than 1.5, right?
in short deck.
1, 4, 1, 4, 7, 5, 1, 5.
There's the call. Wow. I wonder if it had been 1.6 if he would have folded. You hate to see it. Lebedev dominated.
What do you have? Tens?
He's in slightly better shape than he would be if this were Hold'em.
You say you had the other jacks.
For sure I'm gonna have 10 now.
You gotta fold.
But
10.
that's like saying I'm in slightly better shape than James Corden.
Oh, you're lucky. Only one.
Lebedev looking for a jack and only a jack right now.
No additional outs picked up on the turn.
Oh,
man. Leba double up. He got short decked. Daniel Divoris.
I see him hurt.
Lebedev doubles up to over 3 million in chips. Divoris.
Cute. I could see you wearing a cute little dress and walking up with a dog.
Ring tied to a pillow.
Yeah, like you and the dog, and be great. Lebedev picks up aces. 2 black aces there. You are watching the Triton Super High Roller Series. Joe Stapleton, David Tuckman here. We're in beautiful Montenegro at the Maestral Resort and Casino. A couple things that I have picked up on this trip. Number one, short deck poker is awesome, and I'd like to play more of it. And Montenegro, not a half bad place either. If you kind of like being off the trail, it is definitely a beautiful place to be.
John Juwanda.
Yeah, he's going to go all in. This is kind of a hand that plays itself, unfortunately for Juwanda. He is up against aces. Pot will be 2.55 million. John Juanda, a sizable dog, as you can see. Juanda did the phone and water, I'm out moves. Let's see if that works for him. That is it's a halfway decent flop for Juanda as he picked up some equity here. Club is no good, but a jack is good. And that's what he's looking for. The jack is there.
Wow, he hits the offsuit jack.
And now Lebedev is looking for a queen to chop it or a club to win it. Another jack.
He gets both jacks.
And the jack that saved Lebedev on the river about 15 minutes ago saves Juanda again.
That has something to do with the jack gonna win.
Lebedev short-decked Dvoris. Gets short-decked by Juanda. Wyken Yong. Queen Jack. Does he think the limp will get through?
Oh, look at this. Dvoris has got ace-queen. The one player that Jetten really doesn't want to play it all in against is Dvoris. He's folded ace-king earlier to him. Now, Dvoris had queens that time.
All in.
There's the shove from Dvoris.
Jetten has 2.6 million behind.
And Lebedev is the short stack.
This time he calls.
Decides it's too strong of a hand to fold.
Ace-king versus ace-queen. You see that it's about 2 to 1
I'm not rooting against you.
with the chop outs.
I'm not rooting for you either. I'm just rooting for myself.
The best hand has had some trouble here so
I don't
far.
mind rooting for you. You root for me too? Yeah, I root for you too. Okay.
Poker's Terran Killam. All in. He's ahead.
Both players rooting for the other player to pair up now.
Boy, this could go either way still. Dvoris is the player that needs to hit right now.
A lot of chop outs, obviously. A jack or 7 chop it.
Let's chop it up.
Dvoris looking for a king to win it. And we get a full double up here for Peter Jetten, who's now up to 5.5 million. Dvoris is still a chip leader.
But it was a lot smaller. They were just looking to play some high stakes tournaments, made a series.
Anyway, thanks for the tweet, Colm. I really appreciate that. Take a look here. Lebedev is all in for 1.6 million. Jetten has ace-queen. I can't imagine him folding this one.
No, he should be going with it because Lebedev is the shortest stack. And that's the stack you want to play against.
Yeah, and he also doesn't have to worry about Dvoris behind him. Dvoris.
Hello, my babies. Welcome back to the Triton Super High Roller Series 2019 from Montenegro, the Maestral Resort and Casino. I am Uncle Daddy Joe Stapleton. He is my adopted stepson, Randy Lou.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, Nano Noko in the house. Nano Noko, Nano Yesko, continuing coverage of the 750K Hong Kong buy-in short deck tournament. registration officially closed.
Officially closed. Daniel Case did buy in at the very last second. Lost a little bit of chips on the last hand or two.
So he is in for 32 antes, of which 8,000, 16,000 are the limits. Every player must post an 8,000 ante, 16,000 just to limp in. This is our main featured table.
King 10 10 9 board. 8 16. King 7 10 10. No. King 7 10 10.
Give it shot.
On me, right?
Oh, it's 8.
The registration is now closed.
I'm glad you checked. I won. Hit the straight on the river.
It's Shanghai Wong.
Shanghai Wong, happy to see him here.
I thought you were going to check them.
Tong Xiao Chun at the table. Robert Flink, Jungle Man, Michael Soiza. It's been a pleasure getting to know these guys over the last 10 or 11 days. Jungle Man all in. Last 2 levels of the night. Then we're going to put a pin in this event and come back and play down to a winner tomorrow. Kate's all in with pocket jacks. I imagine Shanghai is going to make the call. He does indeed. We got ourselves a short deck flip.
An exact coin flip.
Get ready, my babies. Hold on to your butts. It's a wild ride in short deck. I'll go over the rules of short deck again after this hand is over. Set of jacks for Kate's. Shanghai looking for a straight now, and he makes it on the turn. Dan's got a lot of outs to a full house, but that ain't one of them.
Short deck. Short deck.
Short deck. Short appearance for Dan Cates. Jungle Man out of here.
That's 100K USD spent. His break was longer than how long he played.
That is sad. 3 tables still in play is what it looks like.
Possibly 4.
Possibly 4.
It's Haxton versus Greenwood all in.
Sam Greenwood is not standing up. Ike is handing over some chips. Looking like a double up for Greenwood.
Congratulations. Thank you.
All right, guys, just to recap how short deck works in case any of you are new, we take the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s. They're out of the deck. That means that a full house is slightly easier to make than a flush, so they don't count for as much. Flushes beat full houses. The ace in your hand may count as the low end of a straight or the high end of a straight, and there are no blinds. Every player must post an ante. That's 8,000. If you're on the button, you got to post double ante. You want to limp in, you got to post another ante. You want to raise, then you raise. It's no limit after that. Rui Cow, winner of the $1 million short deck main event we had for $3.4 million. Pocket aces here, flops top set. Soiz has called his 50,000 bet on the flop with a straight draw. Now has a double gutter. I agree with Santa Barbara in Twitch chat. Shout out to Randy Lou for fighting in the short deck streets. Played some of these events. Has done a brilliant job commentating and teaching us this game.
I'm going back to commentating. For now.
Less variance in commentating. And guys, chat's starting to devolve right now into a discussion of fairly political topics, healthcare, taxes, stuff like that. Let's bring it back to poker. Let's bring it back to what we're focusing here on the screen. And Soiza's missed, even though he had plenty of outs. Top set is now a full house.
Ruical is going to go for a lot of value here. He's trying to get like queen 10 to just pay off maximum. It is going to take that one down. Shanghai Wong, 1.5 million chips, possibly the chip leader of the tournament. It's good to see him back. This guy plays such big stakes. I don't even want to think about it.
He did casually mention, may have been joking, may not have been joking, but he did say it on stream, that after he won the 3.4 million, he came in the next day and went, oh yeah, I lost all that in the cash game last night.
That's what Ruical said.
Ruical did say that.
Imagine who else is in that game.
Can't confirm it. Just repeating what he said, it's out there. He didn't chuckle after, he didn't say just joking, but he also didn't seem that bothered either.
Check. Heads up.
Tong Xiao Chun with a very bad starting hand for this game. Cal flops a full house this time, doesn't even wait till the river. Like a decent human being.
Hands in the air.
Three in a row. Set. And flush draw. Gut shot, backdoor flush draw, turn open-ended. Good thing I did not shove the turn. If I had king 10 of diamonds, I would have. Maybe I fold. With top set? I mean, I didn't know you had top set, so it would have been worth a shot.
Yeah, of course, if you know I have top set, you.
Easy flat.
Easy flat, yeah. Pass. Alrighty.
Voilà.
So Flink going to go all in with a6. He's only got 10 ante, so he's going to get action from someone. It looks like Shanghai is going to be the man.
No.
Queen Jack.
Shanghai Wang.
Shanghai Wong.
Wong. Shanghai Wong versus Professor Flink. Queen 9-8, 2 diamonds. Flink outflopped. Had a
One
ton of
out.
outs. And they got reduced to almost none after that turn card. Flink flunked. Gone.
So this man clearly the chip leader after getting rid of Jungle Man and Flink.
Two.
Flink has flung. By Shanghai Wong. I don't know who's listening to K-pop, but I'm into it.
Let's turn it up.
Someone's watching anime at the table. What's happening?
Learning about Destiny.
What did that even mean? Yesterday, Dan Cates said that he knew a lot about Destiny because he's seen anime.
Yeah, I was confused by that statement when he said that to me.
The weird part is I kind of know what he means, but he's like, because he's like watched a lot of TV and movies where they talk about Destiny a lot, he thinks he's an expert.
Yes.
In Jungle Man logic, I kind of I'm like semi-fluent in Jungle Man.
Semi-fluent in Jungle Man.
Rui Cow all in with kings, gets it through.
Jungleman's actually a really good basketball player from what I've seen. Like, really good.
Really?
Yeah, he can shoot free throws.
I don't know why, but he looks like he would be good at basketball.
Having good hands, not winning like huge balls.
He's not that
At least you're not
Oh.
losing, you know. The good hands is like a-
He doesn't
that's
look
the
like
win
he'd be very
itself.
good at basketball.
Having a rush of cards.
Yeah, he sure is. Aces, tens, kings. Check Norris says Rui Cow is one mysterious dude. I like it. I agree. I agree.
The wrong one.
Hopefully, if I come back to one of these events, the schedule will allow me to do a little socializing because I would love to be able to hang with these dudes a little bit, get to know them a little. I feel like color commentary is better when you know the players. That was one of my strengths early on in my poker career is that I hung out with all the players. You know, when I did the big game, I'd hung out with almost everybody. Hadn't hung out with you yet. You were pretty new on the scene. But guys like Ike and Bonomo and Daniel and David Williams, I knew stuff about them. We could make it a fun color commentary. I hope to be there again one day. We are 3 ways to this flop. Ace, 9, 8, top pair for Soiza.
Bet 40.
Bottom pair for Watson. Wong is out, understandably.
So Watson deciding if he should shove, try to make it his hand look like 10 jack, or just call here. His hand isn't that far ahead, despite having 2 pair. I mean, Soiza has 42% to win with just ace jack. He's got less than 30 antes behind. Is going to make the shove.
I believe I said Mike Watson has bottom pair. I meant to say he has top and bottom pair.
So Soiza is mainly worried about 6-7 or set. I mean, after he bets this big, he is getting a pretty good price against a hand like ace-8.
So it's 190 to call. Not quite 2 to 1.
Against 9-8, he'd actually be doing even better.
Guess you've got counterfeit outs when you're up against top and bottom in this game, like any other, but way more likely the board will pair.
It is going to fold. He was slightly behind. And that's a big win for Watson. You were barely ahead, shut out your opponent, and preserve your tournament life.
It's been a rough go for Mad Dog. Don't think it's been a particularly good trip for him.
It's always a chance.
He had a 5th place finish in event number 12, the 250K No Limit Hold'em. But I am not seeing his name on many of the other final table lists.
Yeah, I never knew his nickname was Mad Dog. I heard Tuckman say it a lot.
Yeah, he's foaming at the mouth. Look at him. He's such an animal.
So he's just got the ace queen. 52 antes. He only has 1 player to worry about who limped into hijack. People who limp into hijack tend to not be as strong. So that's why Soiza is shoving very confidently.
No, it's okay, thank you. No, it's okay, thanks, man. Green tea for...
I never thought I'd say this, but green tea sounds amazing.
It is always amazing.
No, I mean, like usually at this point of the night, I want a whiskey. But I really want a green tea.
The dumplings are good here.
I ordered more dumplings after you shared your dumplings with me, Randy. Thanks. They're good.
They're delicious.
Except, oh man. So I ate in the tournament room.
Mm-hmm.
Because the restaurant was closed. And they brought me chopsticks. And I had to sit there in front of a room full of like Malaysian and Chinese people just absolutely butchering chopsticks. And you know how like they accidentally brought me a soup spoon?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just eating my rice with the soup spoon because I couldn't do it with the chopsticks. Like I could pick up a dumpling, but the rice I couldn't get it.
It was just falling through the chopsticks.
Yeah, so I was just using that big soup spoon and just shoveling it in my mouth. Like, and I was waiting for no one to be looking at me. I was so embarrassed.
That's what should be shown on the instead of the highlights next time.
Rui Cow. Raising King Queen. Got another King Queen to fold. And I think Chun shall be calling. No, he folds Ace 10. I guess it's a big raise for his stack.
Had a good hand, obviously.
I'm not quite sure whether it's full or not. Of course, I think.
Thank you, Troll Bosser, Kiodero. A couple of folks, Chuck Norris, have been with us for the entire 12 days we've been at this. Thank you so much for all of you guys that have been there and keeping it quiet, lurking, just supporting us. We appreciate it.
Especially the guys who probably watch every single minute we've spoken.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get a virtual high five.
Oh, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
We connected well.
Yeah, they connected.
Rui Cow really is on a rush of cards right now. I don't think he's even done stacking his chips from the last hand when he wins this one. Kiodero wants to know, when are they releasing the cash game footage?
Sometime after the series ends.
But not too long, right?
Probably not too long. I mean, they try to release it. Want to make sure it's all polished nicely for you guys.
You guys should subscribe to the YouTube channel.
That's correct.
That way you'll know. Lebedev all in, Queen Jack suited. It's a hand you don't really mind getting called.
Yeah. It's like you have good equity if you're called. You know, Ace King, a very favorite hand to call against you. You're pretty much flipping against that. Ace Queen should be going all in here. Especially Lebedev, who does want to steal with that stack size. Wykin does make the call.
Oh my god.
Rome's got Queen Jack of Diamonds.
It's practically all in for him to call.
If it's both his opponents have Ace King, this would be the right call. Just wondering if he's dominated. This spot he is. Whenever it's suited, you're like, just enough. Registration is closed, so he won't be able to rebuy. Definitely going through his mind right now.
So are you at all more, not you personally, but are you more likely to gamble up in these spots when you can triple up?
Yeah, he probably would call if 10-9 suited and 8-9 suited. You'd be getting the right price. With Queen Jack, the problem is you're getting dominated. You know, if 10-9 suited, you're almost guaranteed. 9-8 suited is the best because you're guaranteed to be live.
Super excited
Right.
to have a chance to triple up.
What did you have? 10-9?
No.
10-8?
King, Jack, 6 on the flop. Lebedev's Jack is doing all right for now. Looking to fade aces and 10s. Still looking to fade aces and 10s.
For the 9, 10 or hearts.
Don't say that.
And I miss.
No justice.
Wow, why Ken Yong out?
Close. A little bit left.
Yeah, ever since that previous final table, seems like things still not going his way.
Yeah, he's right to say no justice.
Actually, no, it's a lot.
He had himself a rough time 3-handed in the previous event. He just played a final table 3 hours ago. Took 3rd in the last event. Lebedev with a nearly full Lebedouble. Now you guys have done it. You've woken up Winford Yu. He
No
folds.
more re-entries, right?
No.
Timofey Kuznetsov, also relatively short. Fewer than 40 antes. Calls with 10-9. And Lebedev checks his option with the worst starting hand. Ace 9, 8, 2 diamonds, pair of 9s for Kuznetsov. Timofey! 20,000.
Yeah, I just want to take down the pot. You're limped in early position, you can represent a big ace.
And your opponent just checking on the button. Doesn't typically have much.
Chip counts.
Win for you. The winner of the first short deck event we had here during this series. He's the chip leader. Over 100 antes. Pretty good any way you slice it. Just behind him is Wei Long Chan. Sergey Lebedev after that double up. Now a little bit more comfortable. Kuznetsov and Roman not super comfortable. Especially Roman. 46 antes is not many orbits, and that's just folding and limping.
Chun is going to go all in. He's got ace king, 30 antes.
We got a prize pool, right? Right, Randy, since registration's closed?
We should. Let me take a look for you.
Top 6 getting paid. Min cash is $351,000 in this event.
That's a lot.
That is so sick.
Yeah, that's huge. What about first place? 13 million Hong Kong. What is that?
Less than 2 million.
More than 1 million.
More than 1.5 million.
$1.729 million.
The fact that there's $1 million prizes for 2-day events consistently during this blows my mind.
And second place gets 1.1 million as well.
I'm rooting for Mike Watson. I love this kid. Come on, Mad Dog. Sick 'em.
How much is that?
Not what you want to hear when you got ace-7 suited. How much is that? Must be a pretty big call from Boziakowski.
You mean Boziakowski?
This would be a pretty boss call, but he is going to lay it down. Thanks to our official partner, Party Poker Live. They run a lot of big tournaments around the world. Check them out.
Rui Cal pocket eights under the gun. Folds. Excuse me, calls. Boziakowski having a very sick 18 months. Hasn't made too much noise this particular series. 4th place in the $1 million No Limit Hold'em main event. 10th place in the short deck main event. Hoping to make a deep run here. His raise to 75,000. All 4 8s are out.
Yeah, once if he could see the cards, like, wow, how do you even win pocket eights?
Right.
KK.
AA, but divided between 2 different players.
Maybe can't happen.
Yeah, maybe can't come
Not like,
yeah.
I don't care, okay. Like,
Each player with only 1% to win the hand outright, and that is now 0%. Have you seen one of those go the wrong way?
The ace kings?
Yeah.
In this game, no, I don't think I have.
I mean, we'd have to see it 100 times, right? Before we see our first.
really fast. So.
Yeah.
Or I guess.
It could be less, technically, if the 1% rounds up.
Right.
Okay, I do a handful, right?
I mean, I guess if they both have 1%, you'd have to see it 50 times.
Math is hard.
Right?
Is it right?
Because if they each have 1%, then they'll each, right. It's been a long series, guys. 1 + 1 is now difficult. That's where we're at. Do you know I forgot how to eat food?
I mean, I heard your story.
I try to put a dumpling in my ear earlier. That's how even basic human needs. My brain is forgetting how to do them. Roman, pocket 7s. He went deep in the short deck main event, finished 3rd. By the way, next time we're definitely doing this and keeping up with it. How good is it having these to reference?
Yeah, no, it's very nice. Except your handwriting is awful.
My handwriting is bad. And also, so we've got all these pieces of paper hanging up in the booth that have the winners and the cashers listed, but the thing I have them stuck to doesn't like tape. And so they keep falling down. All right, heads up to this flop, which was Jack 8-7, 2 diamonds. Check, check. And 9-8 is a good hand right now. Kuznetsov semi-bluffing.
I mean, it would work a lot of times if Wylon Chan doesn't have a 9. He can't really continue. River card is the 6. True Teller is trying to decide. Should he bet again, trying to get 2 pairs to fold? Definitely wouldn't think a 9 would fold. Looks like he really wants to bet here. Definitely not going to work.
6.
It's a very hopeful announcement of a 6.
It's basically 6, so I don't have to show my other card with it.
You hear that silence? This series is taking its toll on everybody. Might be a good time to mention the Triton Poker giveaway. Check out the link from Nightbot in the chat on Twitch. See that dealer button on the right side of the screen? One of those, an all-in triangle, a playing card signed by Linus Love. Free to enter. Click the link for details. Not gonna lie, I would love to have a Triton Poker dealer button for my home game. I would be the most popular kid in school.
You would be pretty cool. Having an all-in button, too, with your 5 big blind stack.
Right? How'd you know I buy him for 5 big blinds in my own home game? Top 2 pair for Sergey Lebedev. Such a fun name to say, Lebedev.
I like him.
Lebedev.
So he is going to bet out top 2. Romay here is going to lay it down. His straight draw isn't very good.
Yeah, breathe right into that microphone.
Thanks, Lebedev. I used to like you.
Roman's in with 10-7. Lebedev ace, 10 of hearts. I have no idea how to predict what to do here. I'm like, yeah, well, this is probably like a raise or a shove.
I think it's an all-in.
Okay. But then they just check sometimes, and I'm like, God dang it.
Thanks, Lebedev. Keep breathing. Yep, okay.
Who wouldn't pay to have that on the other end of their telephone, huh?
We had a total of 53 entries, including 24 re-entries, generating a total prize pool of 38,122,500 Hong Kong dollars. We're going to pay 6 spots with a 6th play finisher receiving 2.7 million, and the winner of event number 10 will take home 13,300,000 Hong Kong dollars. Best of luck, everyone.
Well, guess what, my babies? We already told you about that.
Sorry, how many blues do you have?
Tong Xiao Chun in there, trying to get trappy with pocket kings. Bajakowski may bite. Very likely to bite, I should say.
Yeah, I don't think he's worried about getting in against a 30 anti-stack. Just going to shove himself.
So he's with jacks. Under the gun. Whoop, okie dokie. That answers the question I was about to ask. 3-way all in. Bajakowski's got everyone covered.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's okay. I'll play one ace.
30% equity 3 ways is pretty okay.
Yeah, you're only 3% off. Chun is the favorite.
Possible. That is ace heavy, as they say. Yeah. But fucking short deck, bro, you know. Jack on the flop.
Good luck
Let's go.
anyway.
Yeah, thanks.
9, 10, Jack.
Still
Top
good.
set. For Soiza.
Yeah.
Kings need queens. Ace queen needs kings.
That's not good.
Still okay. Hearts.
Now,
Not very
Soiza is behind, but can hit so many outs.
Not many hearts,
Most of them hearts.
Yeah. This was a correct year, right?
He had 2 outs for a straight flush, so he could hit a king of hearts, 8 of hearts. Bajakowski was looking for other hearts. Soiza is going to eliminate Chun and double up through Bajakowski. That was a tough one to follow.
That was a short deck run out. I was just silent. I didn't know what happened on the turn. Bajakowski had 3 outs. Such a roller coaster.
No, 220. 220. 230.
So the hand with the least equity pre-flop is gonna scoop it.
1, 2, 3.
Told ya.
25, 41.
Mike Watson, he's so jealous. He's, oh, son of a God. Dang it. Why can't I do that?
Lucky.
Must be good to be Michael Soiza.
Did cash the previous event. So it's already got 1 cash in short deck. Looking for a second one.
Nope, I was the button just now. Double button?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe you can be on the button twice in a row.
That's correct.
Twice in a row. Good Lord.
The dead button does stay in the spot. And it's a ruling they decide was the fairest. Because under the gun is the worst position, and we don't want to let players skip the worst position. Whereas in Ultimate Hold'em, the big blind is the worst position. But the button here, even though you paid double ante, is better than being under the gun.
Relatively small price to pay to have to ante twice versus what you lose out on in being out of position. It's another thing they may figure out how to do differently at some point, but that's the best solution at the moment. Soiza raises from the button. Up over 1 million chips now. Back to table red. Wai Leong Chan. King 10.
330. All in.
He puts Roman all in. And Roman's got jacks. So many situations in this game, you just gotta leave it up to the poker gods.
It's a different poker god than No Limit. No Limit. It's the short deck god.
It's a way crueler god.
He's like,
It's-
yep. I'm
it's
gonna let
like
you
Loki.
Be ahead on a flop, and then give the other guy a lot of outs on the turn and let him get there on the river.
Chan needs to hit a king or a 9. Nah. Double up, Roman.
335, I think. 20, 30, okay, more.
Yeah, Romay did get third in the short deck main
50, 52.
for over $1 million US, so he's having a good week.
52? Yeah, why so much?
Is there a Survivor finale on tonight? You a Survivor fan, Randy? I figured you might be. No?
I'm trying to learn some survival skills in real life.
Right? Randy just has a hard enough time surviving in a first world country with running water and electricity. Close access to groceries. Do you watch any TV shows, Randy?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing?
I don't know what a TV is.
It's fair. You are a millennial. Roman raises. Gets it through. Back over to table blue. Bajakovsky under the gun.
You hear that music again? It's
I
new
do.
Music.
Rui Cal checks the ace-jack, seemingly disinterested, and flops top two pair. Open-ender for Mikita.
Rui Cal is going to bet here on the flop. And his hand is very disguised because some players would just jam this in pre-flop versus Mikita's stack. Badziakowski is under the gun, so he could represent some big hands if he wants to. He's thinking about raising. Is just going to call.
Probably a good move. Could have got jammed on if he raised. Instead, going to take his equity for now and bink. Straight on the turn.
So you got the nut straight here. You got to ask, would Rui Cal call check raise all in? If you don't think he's got ace jack that much, you probably don't want to shove, because he might be able to hero fold like a weak 2 pair.
Well, he's going to have some sets also, right?
Pocket nines, pocket jacks, definitely reasonable. If you don't raise, there's a lot of bad river cards that could kill your action. So you can really see it both ways.
I feel like when you have a big hand and you win on the flop, you're disappointed. And then you get to the river.
There's a shove.
And you hate the board, you're also disappointed. I like winning it on the turn in this game. The turn is just right. Bajakowski tries to win it on the turn.
I like how when he got called, he just said nuts instead of 10-8.
Right.
Nuts.
He doesn't even say the word the. He's that efficient. It's just nuts. Cow drawing to aces and jacks. 4 outs. No, sir.
How much?
Rui Cow has to pay off Mikita Bajakovsky. 400,000 chips.
If you start a shuffle, please don't bring the hand around, otherwise raise your blind. Until of 10,000, what's on 20,000.
This hand?
This is going to be the last level for today.
You heard him. Last level of the day. Thank you to 12bet.com, bringing you the last level of the day, our official partner, because experience matters.
Bad turn.
So it's going to be 10,000 ante and a 20,000 button ante. Ace queen for Soiza, playing almost 100 antes. Looks like he wants to raise. Shanghai Wong's got ace queen. Very playable hand. This guy's got a lot of deep stack experience. Let's see how he wants to maneuver against Soiza. Is going to call here. Doesn't want to risk 100 antes just on pre-flop. Figure you got position. Makita's got 8-7 offsuit. Looks like he's going to make the call. So Makita will make the best hand on a kind of scary board for him.
Yeah.
It's also very hard for ace-queen to bet this flop. It just seems like so likely someone's got a jack, like jack-10, queen-jack, ace-jack would defend.
Or some sort of big draw they can just cram it in with. Shanghai Wong in the flesh.
Check to Bodzikowski. He might consider betting because it seems like Soiz is just giving up. Shanghai Wong might have a hand like pocket tens that probably would give up, or like king queen. But if you check, that turn card is super hard to play. And I think this is a very nice bet. If you play hands like 7-8, you need to know when to bet and take it down. If you just wait to hit like 2 pair plus, you're probably burning money.
Man, Makita, he knows. Dude is just a good poker player.
Shanghai thinking about it, but looks like he's done with it.
No pair, no draw. Pretty tough to do in this game. Best to get out the way. Leb's asking, are all tournaments at Triton short deck? Well, all the ones that are left are. There were 3 no-limit tournaments.
Well, and actually we added one extra one.
4 no-limit tournaments, 1 PLO tournament. The rest short deck. Shanghai Wong, ace-queen suited. Tell you, I wouldn't mind some live short deck cash streaming at some point. That would be cool.
Yeah.
You guys did it live at previous stops, right?
We did it once, but because there's like some dead time and stuff like that, it's easier just to kind of record it later.
Oh, because they take long breaks?
That could happen.
The game breaks for a couple of hours.
Yeah, and just rather than leaving us in limbo, kind of waiting for something to happen, and the hours can be quite late, it just was decided it's easier to record it for later.
Shanghai Wong, he's in. Rui's in. Makita.
Looks like he's in. free flop for Soiza if he wants it. So Soiza actually has the best hand. And it's going to check to him. Does he want to bet or take the free card? Is going to take the free card. So Shanghai Wong makes a pair of jacks. The inside straight draw, Bodzikowski with the best hand. Bodzikowski trying to decide if he should bet, charge those king queens, queen 10 type hands. Ace queen. A lot of bad river cards could come, so he is going to fire. Soiza quickly lays down the sevens. Shanghai Wong's got a pretty interesting piece. Inside straight draw, top pair. Does beat some hands like king queen, 2 diamonds. But he does know his kicker is a problem. Shanghai Wong will be, looks like, leaning towards a call. Does make the call. River card is the ace, so they will chop it as long as no one folds. Does check, and it does. We'll check down. They're going to chop this one up.
Chop it up. Saw several chops in some very crucial situations at today's final table. So many times.
Yes.
Players avoided going broke.
They were really big pots too. Some of those chop pots, the chances were so low to chop too.
So low. Rui's in. Watson's in. Come on, Mike Watson. Let's go, Mad Dog. Find yourself a leg to hump. Let's go. Soiza and Shanghai Wong. 4 ways to the flop. Jack, Jack 10. Not the flop Watson was looking for. Rui Cow. Look, his hat's almost made it all the way around. Just, it moves so slowly that you can't see it.
He's getting tricky. Checks the trip jacks. You never know what Rui Cow's got. So Shanghai Wong makes the bet, gets quickly called. Rui Cow turn card is the 6.
Long checks. And 9 on the river. Does not help either player.
That's a really quick laydown. Nice one.
Yeah, Wong folds immediately to the bet from Cow.
These guys definitely play a lot with each other. Very confident in their reads.
Back over to table red. Named after Lebedev's beard. So someone in chat wrote a while ago that Lebed means swan in Russian, so it's like his last name is Swanson.
Ah.
Like Ron Swanson? All my money is in gold. Roman calls. Winfred Yu. Triton Poker champion. Freshly crowned just a few days ago. Calls with King Queen. Kuznetsov short stack, Ace King. Can I say this one's going in?
It's going in.
This one's going in.
But what about the Ace Jack? Is it going in?
Yes, I think it might.
I think it should go in because Kuznetsov really only has 21 ante, so he's going to be shoving super light.
And
Ace
there were
Jack is crushing that.
2 limps that you can maybe pick up the dead money there.
That's true. The only reason he folds is if he thinks, and he does fold, is he thinks that Romay or Winfred Yu is trapping big.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely would call if he was last one to act.
Arno, it's on you, buddy.
Fred, you scare me so much.
He folds.
Let you job or not.
You scared me.
No.
Yeah.
I'm super scared. Winfred kicked me out 3 times today.
If you're not here, I shove for sure.
So basically saying that Winfred's got too big of a stack. They didn't want to commit and run into a big hand. Winfred's got King Queen.
I didn't know you had 350.
I think against the stack size and all of the dead money, no one left to act.
Insane.
Seems like a good spot to make a call here.
For your king.
1, 2. Stand a shove, right?
Yeah, 350 can limp.
Yeah, I can limp, yeah. But a better result shove. Jack call. Yeah, of course.
Is it 40 in?
Doesn't feel good about it.
250.
Yeah.
Why should he?
40, like maybe.
Kuznetsov is going to be shoving. Probably the biggest portion of his shoving range here is hands that has Winfred dominated.
Price is so good. I don't know if Winfred can get away. Looks like he is reaching for a call.
Show it down.
So interesting that the 10s or the Ace Jack could have gave action, but since they were first one to go, they're like, yep, we're going to leave it to the last guy. Punish Winfred. Ace on the flop, followed by 8 and a 7.
And another 7 on the turn does not change anything. Ace King holds. That made it look easy. That was like hold'em.
Yeah, that was an easy one. Actually would have held against all 4 players.
Yeah.
Sometime Ace King's pretty good. It can win multi-way.
Yeah. Much needed that ace. Yeah.
This is exactly the kind of move Arno was talking about moments ago when he said he was scared of Winfred. Winfred limping with a pretty huge hand. Lebedev's in, Kuznetsov in with pocket 10s. Winford is not going to get the chance to repop this pre-flop. The pre-flop repop not happening. Jack high flop. No one has a jack. Did anyone flop a straight?
Lebedev has the best straight draw. The most playable hand. Kuznetsov's got pocket tens, trying to decide if you should maybe bet this. Does have an inside straight draw. When you got pocket tens, you block the queen tens. That might continue. Does check.
Look at Chan's equity here. 1%. Still no one has a jack. I mean, I don't know why that would change.
I mean, this board looks pretty scary. It does seem like someone would play a hand like Jack 10, Queen Jack, King Jack. 5 ways. Lebedev thinking about betting, and he thinks someone would have bet a jack by now. And if he's wrong, well, he's got outs.
He's not wrong.
What a nice takedown. Just King 10 high.
He only got one better hand to fold, though, right?
Yeah.
He was beating everyone else somehow. What's up, Avalid? How you doing? Oh, no. You can't spell Kuhn without K-O. Jason Kuhn packing his bags. Knocked out. Really taking his time with that thing.
Yeah.
There's still another tournament tomorrow.
And probably one more turbo after that. Have to see what these guys cook up. One more 2-day tournament starting tomorrow, the 500K.
Then the random. Yeah, can we play like $1 million
Guys, we
again?
want to play more poker.
Just keep running tournaments until no one's here anymore.
Right.
Slowly, you lose like 1 player a day.
Prize pool is closed for event number 17, the 400K Hong Kong buy-in. 11 total entries. 3 unique players. Welcome to the final table. 2 players getting paid.
This is the last level of the night. Then we start again tomorrow, same time. All right, down to Shanghai Wong, and Rui Cao's got Jack 10. Is first to act and looks like he wants to raise.
He's 75,000.
75,000 is the bet. Rui Cao's just got Jack 7 suited. He's gonna lay it down. Thanks to our official partner, Party Poker Live, putting the community back into live poker. Big tournaments all around, big guarantees. Check them out. The Mad Dog's got Ace King.
You guys are lucky my voice is shredded, or you'd have been getting that a lot more this week.
It's a nice little pickup. You survive.
You're always supposed to pick up after your dog.
What if dogs just start pooping out chips?
Oh, Randy.
Can you start pooping out 25K chips instead of 1Ks?
My dog is minus EV. Three limpers so far. Mike Watson, pocket tens.
You got one out to try to make a set, or do you want to just shove it? Nope. One out to make a set.
King, queen, six, two spades. Shanghai Wong, pretty strong draw. Top pair for Rui.
Bet 50,000.
No love for Watson.
Rui Cow calls with top pair jack kicker.
Oh no. Mad Dog.
The last 10 in the deck.
Mad Dog. That'd probably be a loser by the river anyway.
How'd you know? To both players. $105,000. Rui Cow only loses to a flush. His opponent actually has it. Oh, he shoves all in here, and Rui Cow is going to be eliminated. I don't think Shanghai Wong is ever going to fold this flush. Rui Cow has got the king, a spade blocker. Gets called. And it's over.
Rui Cow.
Yeah, he tried to bluff his opponent off a chop.
Can't win them all. And you can't bluff someone off a flush, not in this game. No matter how scary the board is. Rui Cow eliminated. Being released back into the wild. Shanghai Wong. 212 antes, 2.1 million in chips.
Ace is for Lebedev. He's going to raise in first position. Winfred's going to wisely lay down to 2 nines. True Teller's out with Queen Jack. Rome's on a dealer button with a lot of stack to play for, so he might consider calling here at pocket eights. He has invested 2 antes already. Looks like he's counting his stack down, see if he can set mine.
He can indeed.
I think it's a good set mine, especially against an undergun raise who's going to be very strong pre-flop, so if you hit, you can make a big pot.
And he does not hit. Lebedev hits a set instead. Ace 6 7 8 is a straight draw though.
That's true. It's one of those spots where you can consider maybe even checking a set of aces here. He is going to keep betting because he thinks that, well, if I had a bluff, I would bet this flop. 70,000. May's got an inside straight draw. could have the best hand against a hand like King Queen, King Jack. Does he want to continue? Looks like he is going to reach for chips. Put him in. Quads.
Quadzilla.
Okay, you got to start checking now, I imagine. What can call you? 7-8's not going to call you. Pocket 8s, pocket 9s.
Pocket 7s only, really, huh? Pocket 7s and 6s?
Yeah. There's no more aces in the deck. 8, 9. But really praying that's the case. Lebedev hasn't checked yet. Maybe he's thinking about betting. Wow, he actually bets again with quads. He's hoping somehow Romay calls, putting his opponent on a flush draw. Just seems so hard to get called on his board once it raised pre-flop. Wow, he does get the call, so it is the correct move.
Who'da thunk? And luckily for Roman, he does not improve.
Now, does Lebedev keep betting? Bets a turn of quads. Or is he going to start checking?
If I get called twice, I think I'm probably betting again.
It is pretty tough. You're trying to get called by 7s and 6s or 8, 9 exactly. I'm trying to think, would there be a case for checking? 10-8 suited, 10-9 suited are definitely hands that could have called the flop in turn. He thinks like you, Joe. He thinks that Romay's got a pocket pair that can continue. So your opponent has bet the flop, turn, and river. It sure looks like he's got at least an ace.
Also, if I'm bluffing, I'm triple barrel bluffing.
All in with pocket 8s, snap call, wow.
And that's 2 hands in a row. Folks just ran head first into a wall of the nuts. My goodness.
Quads are a massive fan by me.
Hashtag death by quads.
Wow, Sergey somehow got all of the chips.
Told you, dude. You got to rep that triple barrel bluff.
Two Frenchmen are gone on crazy bluffs.
Back-to-back hands.
They got
And
number
now-
1 and number 3 in the $1 million short deck.
Stupid ones.
Now they must retreat.
What a sick hand.
Sergey Lebedev gets max value out of quads
By betting.
by betting. Induces a shove by betting.
That was such a sick hand, man. It just seems like Sergey Lebedev just had a perfect read on his opponent. It's like, this guy, if I just bet small enough, he's going to shove on me. He actually never put his opponent on full house.
Man, oh man.
Base 100.
That man, Lebedev, was also the one to get Joanna to fold quads.
Right.
So he plays quad whenever
Oh,
quads
man.
is possible. It's extreme.
He's like, I'm not falling for this one. Not like Jawanda did. He's like, nah, got it this time.
Base 75,000.
400.
Uh-oh. Shanghai Wong in trouble. So we know Pocket Kings is going to shove it in. Bazikowski might even continue in position here. They got a lot of chips to play for.
Chat is going wild right now.
It's a 100K buy-in too, US dollars. Such insane plays.
So sick.
You give these deep stack players a lot of chips, and they find ways to try and win the pot. This has been a great series, super fun to watch. Bozikowski's a minute in the tank. He's thinking about making a play.
We're closing in on the end of play.
The dream scenario, a raise and a call in front of you. You got pocket kings, only 33 antes. You're gonna shove these in. No one's got an ace, so you're in very good shape.
Got about 10 or 15 minutes left in this level. Mike Watson. Let's do it, Mad Dog.
So it's a 35 ante shove, and there's a lot of dead money in this pot because it's been raised, and there's a call. Shanghai Wong's got queen 10 suited. He's going to get a count to see if he's getting the right price. If he's up against ace king, he'd want to make the call.
$406.
Now it's on Shanghai Wong. Wong's out, Bajakovsky. He makes the call. And
frustrated.
Makes a swear word.
So we're going to play the last 4 hands for tonight. So Dealers, if you start the shuffle, complete the hand you're on, and deal the last 4 hands for tonight.
Watson's been having a rough week, so it's going to be nice to see him potentially get a nice double for himself.
I'll take it.
100 NDC.
Oh man,
my.
King 10 just works it immediately. Watson can't win outright now. He's got to hope to tie it. Oh, Mad Dog neutered. Yeah,
Wow, yeah, that's so frustrating because he's had such a rough week. I don't blame him for being frustrated.
Not at all.
You got in so good with pocket kings against king 10.
I don't think he's very happy.
It is a incredibly frustrating game.
I mean, he's losing the whole trip, so like.
SMI, you know. SMI. Last 4 hands for tonight. I mean, if you want to gamble, you're going to be ready to lose.
I agree on that.
Focus on the positive. Let's go back to that quads hand.
That was not positive for Romeo, though.
We'll focus on the
For the guy who won the chips.
winner of the hand. Yeah. Andrew Roble, first appearance on the stream. Robocop.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you for your cooperation. He looks so out of place in a tournament. He's like, what am I doing here?
Robo. It's good to see him.
Tan Schwinn raising ace-jack suited. Bajakovsky. I mean, what does it matter? Just get it in. The short deck gods are cruel.
They are super cruel.
They're-
That last one
You know
was
what? I haven't
brutal.
used a word this harsh on the stream this week. They're dicks.
Yeah, they are rough. I mean, we saw at the final table earlier, right? Like, Wai Kin Yong got destroyed.
Such dicks. Now I know why they call it short deck. Because the poker gods are trying to overcompensate in this game. Let me tell you.
but they can be very rewarding as well. You got to be on the good side.
Well,
The
I
short deck
I
gods.
just ruined it.
All right, so action on Bodzikowski, trying to decide if she call in position.
Raise 300,000.
Oh man, I told you.
We've been talking about maybe there's gonna be some change in strategy. King Queen is gonna 3-bet, not all in, and I like it. I think there's plenty of room to do this when you got super deep stacks. Tan Xuan, Ace Jack suited. Now Bodzikowski knows Tan Xuan has that style that likes to raise more often than some other players, and he thinks he's gonna fold to a lot of 3-bets because he's raising some garbage hands. Ace Jack suited is pretty tricky. He's wondering, okay, if he calls here, what happens if he flops a jack? What happens if he flops an ace? If he thinks Bodzikowski would maybe just shove pre-flop of ace king, then if he hits an ace when he calls a 3-bet, it's most certainly the best hand. So he's trying to decide, can he call here out of position, play his hand perfectly? He's actually the favorite against King Queen, but he doesn't know he's up against King Queen.
Right. I think most of the time folks just want to call and see a flop.
This is some high-level poker going on. Very cool to watch. 650,000 in the middle. This is our first 3-bet pot that isn't aces. Actually, our first 3-bet pot probably ever.
Ace high. Working out pretty well for Ace Jack.
Yeah, like I said, Tan Xuan's probably thinking that if Bodzikowski had Ace King, he might just jam pre-flop. Ace Queen, maybe just call pre-flop. It does seem heavily weighted towards aces, kings, and random kind of 3-bet bluffs that aren't at the top. That is not right under aces and kings. So like king queens, queen jacks, jack tens. I feel like ace king and ace queen are too strong to kind of play in this manner to induce action. So very interesting. Bodzikowski's thinking, okay, Tan Xuan, what did you call my 3-bet with? He can't think of a hand that would fold, so he checks it back. Tan Xuan probably thinks he's got the best hand unless he's up against pocket aces. Pocket aces would definitely check back this flop.
Right.
If you're holding one ace, it's a lot less likely. Tan Xuan's thinking this. Okay, does Bodzikowski have a bluff? Is he going for a delayed continuation bet? Or does he have a hand like pocket kings and pocket queens that I want to try to get some value out of? Would pocket kings and pocket queens call a bet if I bet right now? These are the questions you would want to think about and try to figure out to decide whether to bet or check.
So much to think about. Is me have best hand, me bet.
What a nice check here. Feign weakness. Make it look like you got a hand like pocket queens, pocket jacks that might have called his 3-bet. And when you put in 650,000, I mean that much in the middle right now, you kind of have this little bit of obligation to want to fire at the pot at some point to win it.
Yeah.
You just got king queen high. Is going to reach for chips. He thinks there's at least enough pocket pairs that he would fold. And that's why he's not betting too big. He thinks jacks, queens probably fold for the size anyways, whether he bets 175K or 300K.
And if he bets 300K, all the aces are calling him anyway.
Yep, so it's a better price on a bluff. There's no way Tan Xuan would ever fold for this price. I mean, I don't even think he would have folded to a pot size bet. Tan Xuan is one of the most experienced short deck players ever. Plays the biggest games. He knows about these 3-bet pots. This is not new territory for him.
Well, he's showing that experience now.
This is a $100,000 buy-in, US dollars. He's gonna make the call.
We are going to the river. Bajakowski drawing dead. And 2 pair now for Schwinn.
If there was any doubt in Tan Schwenn's mind,
right,
it's gone now. He beats the ace kings, he beats the ace queens that might have 3-bet this way.
All the conceivable 3-betting hands are now losing, except for pocket aces.
And he's thinking, is there merit to just leading out myself because I beat ace king and ace queen? There's a million chips in the middle and more to play for. He's trying to think what hands he can try to represent. Does he want to go for a big bet, a small bet, maybe check to Badziakowski? And it's a very tough spot. It's tricky to figure out what to do. He's a minute in the tank. Sometimes you just don't expect to hit your second pair. Normally he probably would check this river, still thinking about it. And he's going to go for value. He thinks there's a decent chance that Badziakowski has a hand like ace-queen or ace-king, and that might check it back when the jack comes.
530 bet.
And he's going for a half-pot bet, trying to get some hero calls.
Are we going to see one more crazy river bluff shove snapped off?
I don't think it's possible, given that Tan Schwinn has 250,000 behind. If Badziakowski wants to continue, though, he would actually have to make that play, just in case Tan Schwinn has a hand like pocket nines. You don't want to call with king, queen high and see pocket nines. That would be a disaster. This is a huge pot and is super interesting. One of a kind this week.
One of a kind, of course, being one of the worst poker hands.
All players still in the room. In just a few minutes' time, Luca is going to run the Triton Champagne Bomb Challenge. We're inviting all players for this competition. It's going to be a lot of fun. At the end of your day, please come join us. It's going to be outside, downstairs, on the terrace of the buffet. Once again, that's a champagne bong.
Champagne
It's a Triton version
Bong.
of the beer
Yeah, have you
bong.
heard of a beer bong?
Beer bong.
A
Beer-
big funnel.
No,
with
it's
a
beer
pipe.
pong.
You pour a bottle of beer into it
That doesn't
and
sound
drink
fun.
it.
It's champagne
That's what,
pong.
like U.S. college students do. But with beer, not champagne.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Maybe they have
version.
both.
I mean, it's hard to down champagne like that. It's too fizzy.
I would think so, yes.
Beer is still doable, but champagne sounds impossible.
Champagne is
That's why it's a
pokey.
challenge.
There it goes. Not sure how much of that was Hollywooding. But eventually lays down the king, queen high.
King, queen.
Too long hole. King, queen. Sink, 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 sink.
Wow, he's...
等一下看录像，看他是 king
I think he called out his hand.
妈的，
I think he did too.
He's kind of tilted that Badziakowski took so long with king,
You
queen.
like poker, Tam?
He's like,
You
think,
like poker.
think.
He loves it.
他 king queen 合牌他也不会投了。哦
Yeah, you can see he's kind of annoyed that Badziakowski took so long with king, queen. Like, you're going to fold anyways. How does he know he had king, queen?
Call. Call.
Man, this last hour of poker's been amazing.
Call.
哎呀，打完算啦。
There it is.
都打算了。
4 ways to the flop, just a couple of hands to go. Ace, ace, 6. No one's got an ace. Soys has got a 6. Bajakovsky taking a stab. As Randy said, a lot of these folks like to do. People are slowly starting to pick up on this, and Tan Schwinn is the only thing standing between Makita and bluffing this pot. Tan calls with the heart draw. And Bajakovsky still has the same straight draw.
7、8点的18个人，很多短码，18个人啊，快了，第一个最少见了一半。上来这里就编这么多了。这个衰仔偷我机，等下看到录像，妈的，不知道什么牌。
Bajakovsky going for it again. This time betting 65,000.
Got a king high flush draw. He's going nowhere.
Nope.
And he's got the best hand.
And that, my friends, is called a flush.
Not just any flush, the nut flush.
The nut flush.
Tan Schwinn checks again, going for the check raise.
He is really trying to stick it to Makita Bajakovsky. It's never good when you try to rep your opponent's hand.
And he's thinking about it.
He is absolutely thinking about it.
He knows the pair of 8s is never good.
Can I get an ace to fold?
If he wants an ace to fold, he'd need to bet a lot of chips. He does have the heart in his hand, so a little bit less likely his opponent has a flush, but it's always possible in poker, just because you have a blocker. And he's going to reach for a ton of chips. It's a pot-sized bet.
He's so happy.
Yeah, Tan Schwinn's like,
He's
got
like-
in his head last hand.
He's like, ah, yeah.
You keep thinking, and you make mistakes. That's what Tan Schwinn's going through his head. Definitely going to go for an all-in, trying to get paid the maximum against a full house.
Minutes every hand. GG.
Yeah, every hand has been very long between these two, but they've been huge pots. So I don't blame them. Tan Schwinn taking his time, and he's cutting out raising chips as expected.
This is so fun. Is Makita going to tank again now?
I hope not, really. There's kind of no point in saving face now because the day is about to end. We're on 30-minute delay.
You know what they say. Think long, think, come on.
Yeah, always bluff.
There it goes.
Such a boss, this guy.
Tan Schwinn getting ornery. here in the late hours.
He's got a ton of chips.
Oh dear.
Tan of chips.
A tan of chips.
Do not tangle
No
with
problem.
Tan Schwinn. He will tan your hide. 2 hands to go, my babies. Then we are putting a pin in this tournament.
Empty.
Oh, okay.
Robocop, ace-6. He's in. Shanghai Wong checking that dealer button. Top pair for Robocop. Top and bottom pair. T-Tours, T-Tours.
Both of them. The battles, man, the battles.
It's about a 40,000 is likely to get 2 folds. It does indeed. All right, my babies, last hand of the night.
Back-to-back hands, big pots.
Last hand?
Last hand.
弄死那个谁崽子，操肉，妈了个蛋！来看他是什么鸟。
It's a real treat getting to see Andrew Roble in this event. He's very likely to be back tomorrow. Bajakovsky in, ace-9, suited. Soiza, ace-queen. Here comes the raise. 125,000. Shanghai Wong, ready for bed. Roble's out. Wong's out. Schwinn's out. Makita. Does not want to play a big pot to end the night. Decides to lay it down. Lick his wounds and regroup. Lost 2 big hands. Headed into the end of the day. Feature table coming back tomorrow. This is what they're playing for. A long way to go till we get to that. Well, Randy, it's time to put a pin in the day today here in the 750K. We will be back tomorrow to complete this tournament starting at 12 o'clock local time. Stream starts at 12:30. Randy, what else is starting tomorrow?
Another short deck event, the 500K Hong Kong dollar buy-in, going to be a big one. All those cool pots at the end you see, we'll see that again tomorrow.
All right, guys, that's it for me. I'm out of here tomorrow. I got to get to Daniel's wedding. Back at 12:30 local time with more from the Triton Super High Roller Series. Smell you later.
Sometimes it's important for the poker community to give something back, and today Triton are doing just that because they're donating a scanner to the local hospital worth over 30,000 euros. We got the mayor coming down, the director of the hospital, and the presentation's just about to take place, so let's check it out.
I would like to thank you, Mr. Pui and company Triton Poker on general donation for my town and for general hospital in my town. This is machine ultrasound which will raise the quality of medicine service in all my region, and that region is northern part of Montenegro. Thank you one more time.
How special is it to receive a gift like this?
We waited for this donation for 10 years.
So how did you find out that you were going to receive this scanner? Was it a surprise?
Last night. Last night. Yes.
A nice surprise.
It's a very nice surprise, and I'm happy today.
When we first started Triton, you know, as a hobby project, you know, we didn't think of where the Triton brand has got today, you know. So, you know, during tournaments, we make some revenue, and then I think it's important, you know. The money we make from poker, is a part of it is given back to the community, and especially at the stops that we go to.